You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And it just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just knocks the soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your cat, niggas. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. And go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Gail. I'll see you later. Find someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. The crowd here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Alacosta has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was on. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, my boy MV Chu and Ari Gold Boss. Hope you guys are well. Firstly, I just need to apologise to the people waiting in the chat and people waiting for the show to start. I wasn't aware that the clocks changed in the States last night, and now that it's only a 4-hour difference between the UK and East Coast, and I think 7 hours between the UK and the West Coast, so I apologise about that. It will be the same for the next 2 weeks also, because the UK, the clocks will go forward in the last Sunday of March, which I think is the 29th off the top of my head. Let me just check my calendar. Yep, it's the 29th, so we'll be back to normal times on the 30th, but until then it will be starting at 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. So let's get to the boxing. PBC Premier Boxing Championship started on Saturday. It's for me, it's a bit of a mixed bag. The atmosphere was a bit dead. The whole setup was weird, having no MC in the ring, having no ring walk music, walking downstairs to get to the ring. It was all a bit weird for me. I guess it's only time will tell if we get used to it. Chu, what did you firstly think about the whole setup, and then we'll get into the boxing?
I actually really enjoyed it, man. The card itself got a lot of shit on Twitter. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole thing. The concept, the intros for each fighter, the Sugar Ray Leonard, Marv Albert, even though Marv Albert had a kind of breathing problem a lot of the time when I was speaking. I enjoyed it. I didn't catch any of the fights this weekend live, but I caught them all on Cimbros. So I kind of went backwards. I watched the PBC card, and then I watched the Sky Sports card on Hull. And to go from that to the Hull card, it was kind of like I was detoxing or something, like I was coming down, going cold turkey. I felt like I was Mark Renton in the film Trainspotting, with fucking babies climbing the ceilings. It was just a total culture change to go for the kind of glamour of that to the glamour of Hull. But the whole presentation was immense. I don't really understand the hate. It's different.
So basically, Ari won't be allowed in Liverpool and you won't be allowed in Hull. So the coalition is making enemies. But no, I do know what you mean. But having said that, I thought the atmosphere in Hull was better than the atmosphere in Vegas.
Of course, I mean, the people in Hull are boxing fans, or at least they're there for a good night out. Whereas I think maybe the people in the MGM are wanting to be entertained, whereas the people in Hull are going to entertain themselves regardless. You know what I mean? So I thought the whole PBC thing was nice. It was a nice change. I was sceptical. I was expecting it to be shit. But I thought there were some nice things that was refreshing. I know people like to have an entourage. They like the boxers to have their own ring music. But you see that every day or every other boxing card. I thought this was just a kind of something a bit different without going down the BKB boxing thing, which is just wacky. I thought it was close enough to boxing, but had a kind of little different aspect which made the whole thing interesting. I thought the commentators being mic'd up so the crowd could hear them. I thought that was kind of cool. You know, it was something different. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. And I thought Sugar Ray Leonard done a pretty good job. He was shit in the first fight, the Adrian Broner fight. But I thought he was really good in the Robert Guerrero and Keith Thurman fight. So it is what it is. People are going to have a different opinion. I enjoyed it. Cam, what do you think?
For me, I can't really comment on Leonard just because I watched the Box Nation stream, which was obviously different to the main NBC stream. I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're used to watching HBO, we're used to watching Showtime, we're used to watching Sky Sports. To me, the whole setup just felt a bit weird, but I guess the more we watch, I'll just get used to it. It's like anything, it takes a bit of time to adjust. Ari, what do you think?
Yeah, I watched the NBC stream. You know, I was streaming. So yeah, I liked it. It was good. The setup was different. Obviously, they're trying to do their own thing. You know, trying to set stages. But yeah, I didn't really like the entrances. Obviously, I don't think anyone really liked it. You know, not even about the entourage. Just they just come out. It's not even It's not even about them being on their own. Because over here we have that with the Sky cards. They walk out on their own a lot of the times. Most times, don't they? So it was just it just felt a bit quiet. You know, a bit timid. It just didn't feel right with me. Over there, like, you know what I mean, you want their music, you know, their entourage or whatever behind them, but it's just something was definitely missing. Hopefully they fix up for their future events on NBC, or if they want to do that for their stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought they were trying to get something like a gladiator kind of thing with the classical music.
Yeah.
The guys just walking to the ring on their own, their name in the background on the big screen. They're trying to get some kind of gladiatorial kind of aspect to it. Did it work? Nah. But just watching something new for the first time, you were expecting a fuck up at any minute, but it didn't really happen. But again, just seeing something new for the first time, it's refreshing. You know what I mean? So the whole thing to me was refreshing. Would I like to see it on a regular basis? Probably not. But it's something different.
My boy Nesmatic in the chat saying it was very WWF. I can see where he's coming from because it did have that kind of glamour aspect to it. But let's get onto the fights themselves. Let's go to Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero. Ari, what did you think of the fight overall?
You want to talk Broner quick first?
It's up to you, Ari. You want to go Broner? Let's go Broner.
Yeah, I want to go Broner first. I'm not going to shit on Broner. You know, he done what he had to do. It's not, guys crying about his performance, but there is a couple of things that he needs to improve on if he wants to, pick up a belt or be elite or something at 140. But he came in big as well. I think he came in at 150. Was it 152?
157.
7, yeah.
Was it 57?
I read 7.
Well, there you go. Oh no, I'm thinking of Thurman, 162. Yeah, but the jab was good, but the problem with Broner is that he doesn't put stuff behind it. Like when he's stab jabbing him, when Floyd does it a lot of time, he puts the right hand behind it. That's what's missing sometimes with Broner. He doesn't really throw combos, and it was all good, like keeping Molina off. And obviously Molina, he was terrible. Molina robbed the bank, in my opinion. The guy got paid $500,000 for that. How many punches did he land in the end? Was it something mad like 30 punches, something like that?
22.
No, that can't be true. Total punches.
I think it might be 22 jabs or something.
Anyway, total punches. I know it wasn't more than 50. or if it was around that amount. 54. The Nut House said in the chat. So that's ridiculous. $500,000. I don't know why he even got that much. The guy's coming off 2 losses. Like Haymon's just throwing money away, to be honest. But Broner did what he did what he had to do. But if you're trying to blow up and you're trying to do the thing on a big stage, obviously you kind of shit the bed a bit. And I think I saw on the viewing, I don't know if you want to talk about it later, but I think they peaked to like 9 million, and apparently they lost over half their viewers halfway through the Broner fight. So Broner kind of ruined the event. He did a rig on, though, in my opinion.
Oh, is that the figure? They peaked at 9 mil?
I heard, apparently, yeah. I think I read down boxing scene. They peaked at 9 mil.
What was the 3.3? Was that average?
That was average, yeah.
Well, they made a mistake with Broner because they should have just let Broner be Broner in the lead up to the fight. And during the fight, they've clearly had a talking to Broner. They've whispered in his ear, calm it down a bit. But you're not going to get excitement and Arturo Gatti with Broner. You're just going to get a guy who depends on his opponent to make the fight. And if John Molina doesn't want to make the fight, then Broner is quite comfortable just shoulder rolling and jabbing. But I thought in terms of defensively, I thought Broner kind of learned the lessons of previous fights. He wasn't getting caught with overhand rights so much. But then when all you're doing is jabbing, you're not going to really get caught. And John Molina just... I like you, Ari. I don't know what he was thinking. It was just... I don't know if he was afraid by the atmosphere or something, but it just didn't turn up. Maybe it was just after a payday, but I don't know. For whatever reason, when I was watching the PBC documentaries beforehand, I kind of had one eye on it, like, oh, maybe he's got a chance here, But then I suppose that's the whole point of documentaries, that it's meant to kind of sell the fight to me, to sell the fact that he might win. But he never really had a chance. It was just stylistically a good matchup for Broner.
Yeah, I actually missed the Broner Matisse fight live. Sorry, Molina fight live, because I set my alarm for 2:30 and I woke up and the fight had finished, because I was presuming that the Abner Maris fight would have been first, and then Broner, Molina, and then obviously Thurman, Guerrero. So
actually,
sorry, go on.
No, go on, sorry.
So obviously when I watched it back on Sunday, most people were saying, "No, don't watch it, it's terrible." So I kind of went in there with low expectations, but having said that, like, John Molina was worse than what people were describing to me. Like, I just thought, what is this guy doing? Broner could see his right hand from so far away, and he was just stepping back and totally missing it or ducking underneath it. And he had no jab. He just trying to like tiptoe closer to Broner and try and unload the right hand, and he's just, I don't know, just terrible. And for the Box Nation feed, we couldn't really hear what the corner was saying. So for you guys that hear it, like, what was Gooson's advice? What was he saying to him in the corner? Was he giving him any constructive advice, or was he just shitting?
They didn't really show that much corner work. They were going to adverts most times. But can I quickly correct myself? I thought I read somewhere 9 mil peak, but apparently the peak was only 4.3. So I read it wrong, wherever I got that from. So that's a quick correction. But they didn't show that much of the corners. But on Gooson, the only thing I remember from Gooson is him tending off Bird. And because Bird kept talking to Molina about going down with his head, and Gooson was just shouting at Bird saying this isn't the amateurs and stuff like that. But that's all I remember. I don't remember him giving him any advice, anything like that.
Okay.
Like, I thought the reason why he was going down with his head was to kind of change the angle with the overhand right. Because you see a lot more boxers doing that. Danny Garcia against Amir Khan style, put their head down and kind of swing away. But that's bad technique, because you get caught with uppercuts.
Exactly.
But you see more and more boxers do that, especially desperate boxers who, just swing away and kind of hope for the best.
Yep.
However, I thought Broner I picked Broner by knockout last week. I thought Broner could have stepped it up any time he wanted and got him out of there. But that just kind of shows you that Broner's not the same fighter as what he was.
I think he's a bit safety first
timid.
now.
No, he's very safety first, man. He's not going to be an exciting pay-per-view fighter if he's going to continue fighting like that. Like, I don't want to watch his next fight now. I know that was mostly Molina's fault that fight was shit. However, if you're meant to be this superstar that you proclaim you are, calling out everyone, You've got to go and get a fucking John Molina out of there.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Change gears and go up a gear.
But, you know, he's afraid. He's afraid of losing. And that's his own fault. He's got to change trainers or something if you're not going to change your style up and perform when you've got all those eyes on you. Then when are you going to do it? You're going to do it in Macau when there's two folk there and the crowd's quiet?
That's true. I just want to talk... Sorry, go on, you.
No, I was just saying if you call yourself about billions and you're all about showcasing yourself, living that big lifestyle, surely you've got to do it in the biggest stage. So, Broner's a fraud.
I agree. But I just want to talk about the figures quickly. Shout out to Armando. I was talking to him on Twitter last night, and he put a question out there asking, you know, whether he thought that the 1.1 million average views was low, or what did people think. And I was thinking that's quite a low number, really, because if you refer back to when we were talking about Frampton's numbers, he averaged at, I think, 1.1. And that fight was a lot later. It wasn't really prime time in the UK. And the UK is only a 65 million population, so to average 3.13 is pretty low in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Yeah, KH said that they were advertising it, you know, on NBC's biggest shows, like where they get over 10 million viewers on shows like The Blacklist and what's the other show he watches on History Channel? I think The Vikings. I think NBC owned that channel, so I was expecting at least 5 million at the very least. You know, this is terrestrial TV over there in America. They got much more people, and if they're plugging it hard, Broner's known really to the casuals. I was expecting at least 5 million, so averaging 3 million, I think that's disappointing. And you know, the amount of money Haymon's throwing down, you just look at the payments he was giving out. You know, Thurman and Guerrero 1.5 each, I think, and Broner got 1.2. I'm not 100% sure on them figures. You know, 500. You know, like I said, Molina robbed the bank, getting 500k. Like UFC, when UFC, we don't like talking about, but UFC when they moved over to Fox, and Fox, I don't think it's still terrestrial, but NBC's a bigger channel. I'd say I think they got over 5 million for their first time, and they got a bigger share. So it just shows that it's not good, man. And if Haymon's throwing this money, he wants the viewers. If they're not getting the viewers, they're not getting as big as advertisements in the breaks. So it's a problem.
What do you see realistically for Broner now? Do you think? Because obviously there's this whole debate now going on about the belts not being mentioned, Thurman's WBA regular belt not being mentioned. Do you think Broner will fight for like Danny Garcia's vacant titles whenever he moves up and gets him some straps, or do you think that's not really in Haymon's plan to give these guys belts?
Yeah, I can only really see him getting a vacant, but yeah, it's good you talk about the belts, because I think Haymon he's trying to make his own belts. I think he's trying to do his own little UFC thing where they made their own belts. Because they weren't talking about Thurman. Apparently Thurman's been upgraded to the regular belt now. They barely showed his belt.
Yep.
In the ring, and apparently they were getting told to put down the belts and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe Haymon's got an up his sleeve.
What do you think, Chu?
Good. That's what I think. Good. I don't like the belts. I don't like Haymon, but I don't like the belts either. I think there's too many. And if that means especially the WBA, how many champions do they have? They've got the regular, they've got the interim, they've got the super champ, and they've got the actual WBA belt. I think too many. Like if you're gonna tell one belt in the organisation to fuck off, and then let it be the WBA.
Yeah.
If it was the WBC, then maybe, you know. But let them have their own belt. Let's see where this goes. You know, I've been sceptical in the past, but I want to see it succeed. I know a lot of people want to see it fail, but the worst thing that boxing needs is for this to be a failure. Yeah. You know, that would just be a really fucking bad look for the sport. So I want it to succeed, but in order for it to succeed, it shouldn't really go down the UFC route of what it's going down. It should take elements from it, but keep boxing what it is, which is competitive fights boxers getting actual what they deserve in terms of pay. You know, the UFC gets paid fuck all, the fighters do. So keep them in competitive fights, pay them well, let them have their own ring music, make the tickets affordable for the fight fan. But I don't want to see basically a monopoly of the sport. We can have both. We can have HBO, we can have Showtime, we can have this. And also, I would like to see some guys from HBO getting the chance to fight on NBC and vice versa. I mean, this is all a fucking pipe dream. I'm dreaming.
Wake up, Jew, wake up.
Fucking slap me in the face, bang. This is never going to happen, but the whole purpose of NBC is to open up the casual fans. You know, I seen Dan Raphael tweeting the day that, you know, 3.4 million, that's a lot of people who don't usually watch boxing watching boxing. That can only be a good thing. So hopefully that will transfer onto HBO and Showtime when the actual fights happen. You know, the Provodnikovs and the Matisses. Hopefully they'll kind of pay attention to that now. But, you know, is 3.4 million a shit figure? Yes.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
I agree. But just going back to the organisations, I agree with you that all of them are bad, except I think the only one I have respect for is the IBF. The others are just shit in my opinion. But IBF, I have some respect for the IBF because they do make guys face their mandatories and at the WBC, it seems like if you're a friend with the WBC, you get any favours you want. And the WBA is just terrible, man. They just do whatever they want to do. But let's get on to Thurman. Have we finished with Broner and Molina then, yeah?
Ah, fuck it, man. That's a shit fight. Aye, fuck it.
Alright, let's get on to Robert Guerrero, Keith Thurman. Chew, were you impressed with Thurman's performance?
Very impressed, bro. Very impressed. I said last week it would be a kind of 10 rounds to 2 kind of performance. So it proved. I didn't think it was competitive at all. I thought Robert Guerrero comes forward in straight lines. I think he's decent at cutting off the ring. But as soon as he cuts off the ring, he can't do two things at once. If he starts to punch, he needs to plant his feet. And if he's got Keith Thurman trapped in the corner, that gives Keith Thurman a little half second to spin away and get out. Back in the day, Robert Guerrero used to have a great jab. You know.
Chew, still there?
Oh yeah, bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a second.
Sorry, back in the day, Robert Guerrero used to have a great jab. The Michael Katsidis fight, as an example. Masterclass. As he's moved up in weight, he's kind of become like a poor man's Brandon Rios, without the power. And I just don't know, man. I think he's going to be damaged goods after that fight. I think people are going to view him as gatekeeper status after that fight. I thought Keith Thurman was excellent, man. He's the opposite of Robert Guerrero. As soon as he lands his punch, his foot's moving to the next kind of half step, so he can move on to the next punch. Combinations, it's like a flow. When you watch Keith Thurman fighting, it's like a rhythm. It's like easy in the eye. I fucking loved it, bro.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
No,
He's a fucking beast.
I was disappointed with Guerrero not doing anything about Thurman's right hand. He couldn't block it, he couldn't slip it, he just kept blocking it with his face.
You know how that is, Cam? I was watching Guerrero's jab, right? And Andre Ward does this as well, where he kind of jabs to Keith Thurman's jab in hand. But it's like a passive jab. It's like a deflection jab. It's like trying to hit his jab to deflect it.
Yeah.
But he's not actually trying to hit his face or even hit his body. It's kind of like, keep away from my jab. Like, Andre Ward does that as well. But Andre Ward can get away with it, man. And that's how...
Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. That's how he kept on getting hit with right hands.
Yeah.
Because he was just so passive with his jab. And it was just like...
Steve Love in the chat's made a great point. But just to cut you off because I'll probably forget it. He says Guerrero will probably do better if he moves down. You agree with that? Do you think he should go down to 140?
I agree. I think he's a bit fleshy, man.
Yeah.
All that CrossFit, not really doing anything for him. So go down, get a little bit of power behind your shit, get back to boxing.
Yeah.
Harry, what do you think, man?
I definitely agree. You know, he came in only 152. He's basically put on 5 pounds. I think he came up to welterweight at first to get the Floyd fight. Obviously, he got the big money fight for that. So it's time I think he goes back down. He ain't gonna do nothing at 147. You know, Thurman. You know, what can I say? You know, you guys know I'm a big fan of Thurman, but it's just guys need to realize. Well, if they didn't realize before, they realize now. This guy's not just a brawler. He's not just a puncher. This guy's got legit skills. The only thing I'd say he needs to improve on is inside game. You know, when Guerrero was starting to rush him at the end, he looked a bit frantic, but I think he might have gassed out a bit as well. But the guy's brilliant, man. What can you say? Like, footwork, speed. He had Guerrero shook from the first round. Guerrero was scared to do anything. He definitely felt that power early on. The only thing, again, Thurman, he was lacking was the body punching, man. Like Lennon was saying, you need to switch it up. Like, Guerrero was literally, he was so scared to get hit. He was turtling at times. The body was there. You know, throw a hook into the body, and that's the thing. Again, forget to say about Broner. Broner, again, he was doing it good with the jab, but he wasn't throwing anything else for it. And I'm starting to realize now the art of body punching is starting to leave the game, in my opinion. You know, you used to have the old school, you know, not even old school, but guys like Hatton. Who's that other Mexican? Oh, I can't. His name just left my head. But, you know, some of the old school Mexicans like Chavez Senior, old body punching. I love body punching, but it's just
Guerrero.
It's missing, man. Guerrero, it's missing, man. It's missing. If Thurman did that, I think he would have finished him off earlier. And well, I thought he was going to finish him in 9th round. You know, he nearly had him out there. I had the 10th round in my prediction. I was getting hyped. I was saying, hold off, man. You know, do it the next round.
Yo, the 10th was Guerrero's best round, though. I don't know what his dad said to him, man, but he came out like it was his life on the line because he just kind of rushed Thurman, and I think maybe Thurman was caught unexpected a bit, thinking that I'll finish him off now in the 10th. But yeah. the shot that Guerrero went down with, that was a beautiful shot. And was the cut caused by that punch, or was it just before that punch with a head clash or something? Because Guerrero looked pretty fucked up after that.
I think it was the punch, man. It was a beautiful punch.
I thought you had him.
And props to Thurman for continuing the fight with that big Quasimodo looking fucking lump on his forehead, man. That a lot of people that would have fucked their game up a bit, but he remained composed and he boxed well.
And he could have done a donaire if he really wanted to. You know, like 5th round come, say, oh, I can't continue, ref. He was up like 4 rounds to 1. I think I had him at that point. Could have easily done a donaire and just walked out of there, easy payday. But no, he wanted to put on a show, you know, for us and all the arena and all the millions watching. So yeah, man. You know, go on.
Sorry, man. That's big respect. That's big respect for Thurman and for Guerrero. What a chin!
Yeah,
what a fucking chin.
Yeah, amazing chin.
But were you not like worried that Guerrero's family was ringside and they didn't seem in the least bit concerned about what was happening?
I was thinking that his wife was like not really bothered at all. I'm thinking, right, your husband's getting brutally beat up in this fight.
That's because they know he's tough as fuck. He's fucking hard as nails. I'm a fan of Guerrero after that, man. It's funny how it takes a fucking ass kicking like that for you to go like, oof, big respect.
Give someone props when they get beat up.
Just like I've seen Robert Guerrero not give his opponent credit after a fight, but even then, like the win was just so decisive that he kind of had to tip his hat and say, "Oh, he's pretty good."
Yeah, I like that. I did like that at the end where he was giving Thurman props. But I think we got my boy Gil on the line. You there, Gil? Gil.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Here you go. What's happening, man?
Nothing much, man. Doing good. I'm listening to you guys and wanted to chime in.
Yeah, go ahead. We're just talking about Thurman Guerrero.
Yeah, we'll talk about that and I'll circle back to Broner. Yeah, man. Guerrero, as you guys were just now saying, tough guy, huh? Took a hell of a beating. He, in my opinion, didn't. I think if he would have imposed his will on Thurman earlier in that fight, he would have given himself a better chance. He did well in the later rounds. It might have been that Thurman was gassed, as Ari said, but I just feel like if he had done that from the beginning, maybe cornered him and got him against the ropes even earlier. I mean, he could have got himself knocked out, but I don't know. It would have given him a better chance to win that fight. Thurman doesn't like pressure.
No, I agree, Gil.
I disagree.
Yeah. Why?
I disagree, Gil. I mean, did you think he lost a round?
I think he might have maybe one of the later rounds. I'm not sure if he. I know he had maybe the 10th or the 11th round. I want to say he had Thurman on the ropes, along the ropes for about 2 minutes, and he was pretty much dominating that round. I think you got to give him that round, and even the 12th round. I mean, you got to give it to Thurman. I think he landed the cleaner shots, but he was running. Some judges do give it to the aggressor at times. So I think you could have given him a round, maybe 2 tops. I was pulling for Thurman, and Thurman looked amazing. But I just feel that Robert is definitely not a welterweight, even though he's tall and stuff. And I think he would have given himself a better chance if he would have fought a different style. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I gave Guerrero round 3. I can't fully remember why, but I thought that was a close round.
Just like,
now I think, but
just a pity round.
I got my scorecard here, and I gave him round 3, so I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what happened, man.
Yeah. I know the later rounds were closer than the earlier ones for sure. And in terms of the knockdown, I think it was a clean right hand to the back of the ear or something like that. And yeah, that definitely hurt him, man. He was somewhere else. I'm surprised he survived that round. And his family was definitely all about it. They weren't even thinking twice about sending him back out there again. Tough people in general.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just wanted to say Broner and Molina. I mean, I know Broner's getting a lot of shit, but he did what he had to do to win. I like the fact that he boxed and he didn't exchange, and that he used his skills and his advantages. I mean, he doesn't have the power to knock guys out at 140. We know that by now. He doesn't. I mean, he's faster than them. He doesn't have he has a really good chin, actually. Maidana wasn't able to knock him out, but he doesn't have to stand there and get hit. He can play defense if he'd like to. So I was, I like that, but I think that might have turned off the casuals. That first 4 rounds of that fight were horrific. I was like, shit, they're shitting the bed. It's a huge event, and they're not giving the fans what they want to see.
That's exactly what I was going to say to you, Gil. Is that not an opportunity missed there for Broner? He kind of goes on with this celebrity lifestyle and, about billions and all that. And then he performed like that. It's a bit weak, in my opinion, because now you're on mainstream TV. You got, people that probably never watched boxing before or only watch it on a casual level watching you now. You need to impress. And for me,
I agree. But my counter argument to that is, Cam, they're trying to build him as a star, and you rather get a dominating 12-round decision than a fucking mess. He screwed up. He fought a little too much. He got knocked out. If he gets knocked out on national television, that's the end of him. So I just think he fought the fight that he was supposed to fight. It was not as entertaining as we would all want, and it was a missed opportunity. Had he been able to hurt Molina, which I don't think he thought. I mean, he could. I guess that's or whatever the case may be. Then maybe he could have done that, but he just did what was in his best interest. And I think Molina's out of the way. Let's see what happens next. I would like to see him in there with Matisse or something like that. And I agree, it was a missed opportunity, but at the same time, would you rather that or him get knocked the fuck out? That's what it comes down to.
Well, Gil, you're asking the wrong person that question, because I prefer him to get knocked the fuck out because I don't like the guy, but. Matisse, I can't see that fight happening though, Gil, because Matisse's kind of gone over to Golden Boy now. So,
no, you're right. He's not in Al's good graces, but I don't know whoever the tough competition is. You guys talked. I think somebody mentioned Mauricio Herrera in the chat. I wouldn't mind that. I think Mauricio is a formidable opponent, and we can measure him up and compare to what he did against him in comparison to what Danny did. And maybe Provodnikov, and then he's right up there in the mix at 140. It's going to be tough for Broner, man. No matter how you look at it, he's going to have to fight like the way he fought this weekend in order to be successful. So we better get used to it. He's not going to be knocking guys out, guys. He's not. And if he does, he tries to do that at 140, 147. Then he's gonna lose. So we'll see what happens. I was a little disappointed. I think they should have picked someone else for that first fight. I just thought they kind of shitted the bed, like I said, but. overall, the numbers don't seem great. I hope they do well, like Chu said. I mean, I'm a little concerned about everything. That I'm hoping that the advertising dollars come in, that they can sustain this model that they're creating. But I'm concerned that it's not going to work. It's going to fuck shit up, and we're going to get less boxing in the future. So right now we have boxing up the wazoo. So let's try to enjoy it, I guess, while it's here, right?
I've figured out what AB stands for. I know everyone's got their own definition of what AB stands for. And they change it on Twitter. It stands for a bully. Because they can knock out guys like Gavin Rees and that Mexican kid. What was his name?
DeMarco.
Oh, DeMarco. And there was another one.
Vincent, what was his last name?
Vicente Escopido.
Vicente, there you go.
Eloy Perez and all these other kind of undersized guys. And he can knock them out, no problem. But as soon as he goes up and he faces guys who are the same size as him, then he can't even dent them. So
if he can't dent Molina, he's not going to dent any welterweight. I'm sorry, Chu.
Exactly. And he can't even make 140 anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Yeah. How long can he even make if the guy, he's looking drained at the weigh-ins. He's only 1 pound more, but how long can he do that? He's got a bad diet when he's out of the ring. He's most likely going to blow up again now. He better pray he can stay in shape and stay at 140, because I'm telling you, we all know 147. That's a division full of killers. He's not beating anyone there. I could most probably call off 10 names he's not going to beat at that division. So he better stay where he is if he wants to survive.
Give me 5, Harry.
Thurman. Well, do I even have to say Mayweather and Pacquiao? I just don't even have to say them two.
We'll
Khan, Brook. Shit, I'm choking.
A welterweight?
Nah.
I think Paulie kind of did beat him at welterweight, even though. But it's a lot of guys. Porter, Brook. Who else? We got Porter, Brook, Thurman. We got probably guys like Marquez.
Maidana.
He's already beat
Bradley.
him. I mean, it's a ton of guys that'll, pretty much, beat the crap out of him. He's in a bad position, but I don't think he can make anything less than 140. And that's going to be hard for him to make. So we'll see. It'll be interesting as it all plays out. But that's all I got for tonight, guys. Just wanted to check. Oh, and I'm going to Vegas to join the guys for the Mayweather get together. So, that'll be fun. Maybe I'll try to I don't know if you guys want to do a post show that night, but if you are up for it and crazy enough, maybe I'll call in from Vegas that night.
Yeah, we'll see. It depends, man, because that's like 6 a.m. over here in the UK,
right?
So we'll probably be fucking ready for bed and shit.
You know what? But that's the biggest fight that's ever going to happen in our lifetime, probably, Cam. And that's the only reason why I'm even going over there. So, think about it. You never know. But I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for having me, man.
Yo, thank you, Gil. Definitely call again.
Yeah, cheers, go.
All right, Chew. All right, Cam. Have a good one, Ari. Have a good one. Bye.
Peace.
W.
Nice to have Gilly on the phone, man.
Yeah.
Been talking to him on Twitter for years. Yeah, go ahead, Ari.
On the broadcast, what was that guy, the guy alongside Lennon called again? Marv, was it?
Marv Albert.
Yeah. I don't think he had a good night, man. There was a lot of times he was calling punches that didn't land. He was saying big punches. We said something about that on Kima Special. Who were we talking about? Who does that? Was it Hauling? Yeah, Hauling. He was doing a Hauling with a lot of that. It was kind of annoying. And even Lennon had to correct him a couple of times when he was doing it, man. But, I thought Lennon did a good job myself. He was hyping up the set a bit, so for the casuals, obviously he's trying to get them in. But other than that, I think Lennon did all right.
Alright, guys, let me get to Antonio because he's got bad background. Antonio, are you there?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Just shooting me.
Yo, Antonio, where you been? Like, you've been missing. You've been MIA for like 9 months.
Yeah, first off, I just want to talk about my favorite fighter, me and man Shaw. I think he had his beautiful jab, a beautiful right hand. I think he has the whole package. And I believe that if he makes an agreement with GGG at a catchweight, he knocks him out in the first round.
No, I'm just fucking with you guys, man. What's going on, man?
What's happening, Antonio?
Not much, man.
Where you been at?
You guys,
where you been at though? You need to explain, man. Where you been at?
Oh man, just working, man. Being a family man.
Fair enough, man. Family comes first, man. But what do you want to
man,
talk
I got
about?
like three kids, man. Working. Listening to you guys in the boxing voice. But I know you guys talking about Saturday night, right?
Yep.
So yeah, to be honest with you, man, I feel like after the Saturday night's performance from Broner, man, I feel like in that fight, he knew, I'm gonna give respect to him after the fight. After the fight, he admitted to him losing his last fight due to giving the fans what they wanted, which was a brawl. He wanted to be Macho Man in there, so he tried to be face to face with Maidana, but that's the reason why he lost. Going to his mami, go over there, mami. Tu el teléfono. My fault. But yeah, so going into the Molina fight, he had that mindset. Look, man, I ain't gonna be no dumb fuck no more. I think we all know that he was a great amateur, Broner. We know he has the legs. We actually saw a glimpse last night on Saturday night. Against Molina. And that's why he. To be honest with you, if he got into a brawl with Molina, and the reason why that didn't happen was Molina didn't throw shit, man. He was like being a little sad puppy, man. Like, I don't know why he wasn't throwing shit. But I'm saying, though, if they got into a brawl, I bet you Molina would knock him out. But Broner, he knew that shit wasn't happening. So, that's why he outboxed the shit out of him Saturday night. And, I feel like after that performance, if he stays at 140, he's gonna like think smart when it comes to, fighting punches and stuff like that, and imagine the possibilities of fights that could happen, if Broner stays at 140. He moved up to 147, test out the waters. He knew that shit wasn't for him. If he takes his career seriously, he could stay at 140, stay in weight, be like Mayweather, stay at 140 for a minute, But he needs somebody in that corner to tell him that, he could be committed like Floyd Mayweather, But we'll see what happens. I feel like he could stay undefeated at that 140, no matter who's out there for him. If it's Crawford, I bet you, we'll see a whole different, Broner in that fight, if it does happen. But guys like, Ruslan, let's say, or Matisse, I think he's gonna, fight a little bit smarter, and, that's my take on Broner. And, what else you guys talking about?
Thurman Guerrero.
Cool. Yeah, Thurman, man, I really thought he was gonna knock him out, but we all knew Guerrero was a warrior, so that shit ain't happen. And at the same time, as the fight went on, Thurman kind of fatigued a little bit, and that's when Guerrero took advantage of that, and I just wish Guerrero had more power, man. He could have done something in that fight, but that's why you saw Thurman at times, move back, go back at times. Why? Because he got fatigued and, Guerrero was putting on that pressure on. But, because he didn't have no power, shit didn't happen. He got knocked out and, it's whatever. But I feel like Thurman, I'm not up there with him yet, man.
What?
Guys talking about him going against Mayweather and stuff like that. No, I don't think so, man.
Why not?
Why not? Because he hasn't fought a boxer yet. He's been fighting guys that are coming to him. We haven't seen him go against a great boxer like Floyd. Not even near him.
What about Errol Spence? What would you think of that fight?
Nah.
Oh my God! No, listen. Errol Spence, man. I know he was a great Olympian, man. To be honest with you, but I just think we gotta chill on that dude, man, for right now.
Yeah,
he even admit. I'm sorry.
Well, Errol Spence is going to be fighting Bundu in April, so I think they're going to use that fight as a barometer to see where he is in comparison to Thurman.
And that makes sense, a lot, because then we'll see. Then we could talk about him and Thurman, later on. But at the same time, we gotta chill. He even admit Spencer on one of the Boxing Voice videos that he's going to be ready for the title, come 2016. Not this year, and this year he's probably going to chill, have a little, Bundu's going to be a tough fight, But, we could talk about him after that fight. We'll see where he's at after that fight. Thurman is on a whole different level right now, he's more closer to the elite. Spencer is still right there as a contender, so, we just gotta, I don't like that comparison right now. Let's see what he does with Bundu. That's all, and then I'll talk about him. But, man, Guerrero, and another thing, this, PBC stuff, man, I think it's great. And when I say great, I mean great for the boxers themselves. Cause, I was checking out Guerrero and, his Instagram and all that, he was, posting some great, statuses about, he was doing great after the fight, taking pictures with his family. I feel like, all these fighters, except for Molina, made over $1 million. Am I correct?
Yeah, he said Molina. They all made $1 million plus.
So especially Broner. Broner already knows his date. When was it? June 28th? Is it June 28th?
His next fight?
Yeah, or June 24th.
I'm not sure. You heard about that,
but he already has a confirmed date, when he's fighting next in Cincinnati,
But 13th.
Okay, yeah. But these boxers under Al Haymon, they're gonna be living large, no matter who they're gonna go against. Guerrero, he seemed cool after the fight. I think he's gonna be fighting hopefully soon. Broner already has a date. After Thurman and Thurman, he should have a date soon too. I mean, these fighters are getting paid this year, and I feel like with this new Al Haymon NBC stuff, the fighters are gonna fight, a lot now, and that's great. They're gonna earn more money, and they're gonna be more on TV. They're gonna become a little bit more famous. So that's a great thing for them, man. But as far as us, man, we'll see what happens down the road. A lot of great fights that could happen if this Al Haymon top rank thing is maybe over. We don't know yet. We'll see after this Pacquiao Floyd fight. But other than that, that's all I got, man. And what else? I gotta tell you guys though. Last show, man, you guys had me rolling with this whole parody type show. You guys had me making fun of Amir Mansour. Making fun of the what is that other show? The boxing, the other boxing podcast. Damn, what's the other podcast? Yeah. Oh shit, yo, you guys, man, you guys are funny as hell, yo. You guys, I can see you guys really doing like, like some kind of parody boxing show. Still give us facts and the headlines and stuff like that, but at the same time, make fun of these other type shows. Even the Boxing Voice, that just, I don't know if there's the audience out there for that, but that'd be great. You guys can make us laugh and give us, the news, all the time, man. That's a good idea maybe down the road, but, you guys are funny for that, Oh, shit, yo.
Another knockdown, man.
Another knockdown. Oh, shit. That shit is funny, but not.
Steve, I'm not going to lie. I listened to that show. I'll be listening to that show after this one. I fucking love that show. I just don't like Gabe Montoya.
But, yo, you guys, you guys listen to that On the Grind boxing show? Oh, man, those dudes are straight haters, man. You guys never heard of him?
I used to. I like the Irish guy in it. He's quite good. The presenter's a bit crazy.
Yeah, they don't take no phone calls, man. That's fucked up, man.
I mean, listen, I won't lie. I used to listen to that about 3 years ago, and I thought that's pretty good. But I've not listened to it in like a couple of years at least.
Yeah. What's up?
It's not a bad show.
No, it's not a bad show. I listen to a lot of boxing podcasts, but you guys in the Boxing Voice, man, you guys are the best around, man. But other than that, and I think that's about it, man. Real quick on Cotto, man. I know the deal's been set a while back, but I think this is great for Cotto. I'm a big Cotto fan. Hopefully he fights K9 and he gets knocked out. I'm a big fan, but I hope he gets knocked out so he could realize that what he's doing is fucked up. He should go back to 154. He can make 154 easily. He campaign down there. He could fight the likes of Lara. I mean, I think he could give Lara a good fight. But I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do with this 160 belt. But whatever, it's good for him money wise. But for us, is whack. But we'll see what happens down the line. If it's not K9, man, hopefully it'll be somebody even better.
If that K9 fight gets made though, you're gonna shit on it because that's a terrible fight.
That is a terrible fight. And that's what I'm saying. I hope he gets knocked out by K9. I'm just saying though, because if he fights Kane, I don't even think he's gonna take that fight seriously, like he did with Austin Trout. You know, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know,
that's why I don't
think to get lazy at times. You know, during fights. You know, that fucking Yuri Foreman fight. You know, like fights like that. I mean, he just tends to get lazy. You know, because he knows he's gonna beat them guys.
Yeah, you mentioned Lara. I think Lara's a bad fight because Cotto kind of struggles with that kind of slick style. He struggled with Trout. I know he probably took Trout a bit easy and thought it was going to be an easy fight.
You don't think Cotto's a good boxer?
He is, but like Lara's good, man. Lara movement's good. His right hand, his southpaw left hand. He's got a good jab. I think he'd cause Cotto a lot of problems, you know.
You know, I mean, we'll see. I mean, let's say if it takes place at 160, maybe with the power up there, you know, you never know. But I can see what you're saying, you know. At the same time, you know, Cotto has fought lefties in the past. You know, he had issues with them, just like Floyd, you know. But, you know, we'll see what happens down the road, you know. Like, again, you know, it's good for Cotto. It's not good for us, you know. We'll see. And GGG, man. Oh, man, listen, guys. This dude is going to be undefeated forever. Man, ain't nobody out there for him unless he goes up and, you know, goes against the Klitschko's and shit, man. Because this dude, you know, he's always sparring, you know, heavyweights and shit, cruiserweights and shit. You know, we don't even know what's his limit with this dude. You know, we don't even know half of his skill level. You know, you and I both know that, you know, because we haven't seen it.
Antonio, how dare you?
How dare me what?
Go against Triple G, God like that.
Yo, to be honest,
are you honestly trying to tell me that Lara beats Triple G? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh wow, you serious right now? Yo, that's an easy fight for Golovkin. You know, exactly. What is Lara gonna do? You know, run all night? You know, that's what I'm saying though. He stays undefeated forever. Like no one's out there for him. You know, no one at 160, and to be honest with you, no one at 168, even if it's Ward. You know.
So he beats Ward.
I think he beats Ward easily.
Knockout.
You know? I think later on in the rounds, maybe 9-10 with a body shot. Let me tell you something. Golovkin got these body shots. Oh, man. And to be honest with you, if he moves up to 168, I think he can actually, you know, do good at that weight. He could fill in real good. You know, at 160, he's like fucking diesel already, man. At 160, I think he could do it, you know. I think Golovkin is really, his condition is just like Floyd's, man. I think he knows his body, you know, so if later on, maybe in 2016, he moves up to 168, that could be a good fight, you know. That could be maybe the blowout year for Golovkin, you know. But we'll see what happens down the road, you know. But I think that's about it, man. Say that
I would actually have Andre Ward beating Golovkin. The only guy who could beat him is Andre Ward. But
in what way do you think, though? Outboxing him?
Well, you know, I said after the Daniel Gill fight, even though it was Daniel Gill, that because Daniel Gill was using like a lot of lateral movement, and Triple G was just kind of swinging and missing a lot.
No, but
against Daniel Gill.
We all know, Golovkin tends to, you know, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest with you. Let's be honest with people here, man. GGG, man, he tends to take it easy on guys, and we all know that. You know, he tries to test out the guys the first 2 rounds, you know, and then he starts blowing up, you know, as the fight goes on. You know, we all knew that was going to happen, you know. But, you know, in comparison to Ward, you know, Ward, he's not gonna box around. You know, Ward likes to, you know, box and clinch real quick, you know, at times to win fights, you know, GGG, we all know he doesn't like to, you know, hug and stuff like that. He pushes his opponent away, you know, and right in those moments, man, GGG could just, you know, work on the body, man. And, you know, I think he could actually break down Andre Ward, you know, as the fight goes on, you know, break him down with body shots, man. Like, especially when we're in close, man. You know, GGG's real good in the inside, man. And I just see that fight happening just like that, you know. Later, he breaking down Andre Ward and, you know, stopping him.
I agree. I just want to say one more. I just want to say one more thing.
I just can't see GGG being defeated right now. You know, anyone from 160 to 168 right now. I just don't see it, man. We just don't know where his level is at right now. We don't even know we don't even know what the fuck kind of fighter he is yet, you know, because we haven't seen it. We haven't even seen him tested yet, you know. But anyways, my fault. Go ahead. I'm like fucking talking all the way here. But go ahead, my fault.
You're on that ski mask Joe.
Oh fuck, yo, that dude. Who was that dude last week? Man, who was that dude, man? That dude that was being mad annoying.
Ski Mask Joe?
Yo, dude, man. Yo, you guys had a phenomenon show last week, man. But that dude just pissed me the fuck off. That dude was being annoying. Like, you guys were having serious topics and shit. He just fucking kept joking and shit. You know, but yeah, my fault. Go ahead.
Joe's my boy, but he had a bad one last year, and he knows that. But
yeah. Chemo, yo, he was hilarious, man. That dude was hilarious.
The man of 1,000 voices. But Antonio, just back to boxing, there's a difference between Martin Murray clinching you and Andre Ward clinching you. You can get out of a Martin Murray clinch. Once Andre Ward has got his tentacles round you, how are you going to escape that?
Let's be honest with you, man. We all know. I'm going to keep speaking about, you know, Olympians. You know, we all knew Golovkin was a great Olympian, man. You know, he had all these amateur fights. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, when Andre Ward and him, you know, when they were in the amateurs and stuff like that, you know, they kind of like, they saw each other fight, you know, and this is why this fight is being talked about now. You know, they're in the same, almost, a one weight class, you know, from each other, you know, but at the same time, it's a fight that maybe it's been brewing since forever, you know, since the amateurs, you know. But I just feel like Golovkin, he'll be on a whole different level for that type of fight. Because, again, I'm going back to the conditioning. I'm going back to the training. You know, this dude really trains like Floyd. You know, he has that type of commitment to his training, you know. And I just feel like he'll be ready for that type of fight. You know, I feel like he'll be ready for that type of stage, you know, against that type of level of opponent. But, you know, we all got to see also what Ward does down the road, you know. We don't even know who he's gonna fight next, you know. But
that's true.
We just don't know, man. I'm just thinking logically in a way. I just want to think positive, you know. And that's the reason why I'm like saying all the stuff, you know, because things can happen like this, you know.
Listen, I love your enthusiasm, man. You can't see me right now, but I'm shadow boxing. Honestly, I'm
shadow boxing right now.
I'm shadow boxing to your call, man.
Like Alvarado, right?
She's doing the Andrade.
Oh shit! What? Yo, I'm not gonna lie though, man. Yeah. I'm high as fuck right now. That's what. Oh shit! No, but I'm like this, y'all.
Yeah, but
shit.
Antonio, Antonio, I got another caller that's been waiting on the line patiently, so we're gonna let you go, Antonio. But yo, don't make it that long since last time, man. Definitely call in again sooner.
Yeah, call in again.
Yeah. All right, man. Peace.
All right, thank you, Antonio. Peace. Okay, guys, we got Javier from Puerto Rico. Javier, you there?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. Sorry about that, Javier.
Yo, I'm not from Puerto Rico, man. What's going on?
I might be getting you mixed up with someone else then. Sorry.
Nah, I'm from Anaheim, California.
Right now, are you?
What was that?
Oh, you're not on one knee at the moment, are you?
No. I'm not doing the Kodo.
That's good.
Hey, what's up, MVQ? Yo, I was going to ask you guys, I think everybody kind of, why is everybody year after year, Broner gives the same kind of performances every single year, and year after year everybody expects him to be better? I mean, why? He's never showed anything ever since what was that fight right before the what's that fucking fight?
DeMarco.
Yeah, before the Maidana fight, I mean, everybody's saying he's going to box him. He didn't do anything. After that, everybody keeps expecting him to look better, and he doesn't look any better. I mean, I've said on the Boxing Voice, he's basically Brandon Rios with a shoulder roll. I mean, why? I was just going to ask you guys that. Well, why did everybody expect him to be any better than what he really is?
It's just the hype about him, you know, after seeing him, the way he came up through super featherweight and lightweight, especially lightweight, where, you know, he was killed someone like DeMarco who was rated, the way he took out Reeves, you know. It's just, And obviously his personality, the way he goes, and everyone thought he was going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. Well, obviously it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I would expect that from the casual fans. But I mean, you guys are hardcore. You guys should be able to see that. I mean, you get calls on. I'm pretty much anybody that calls a boxing podcast is a hardcore, and you got these guys every week or anytime he's going to fight, always expecting something different. And I just don't see why everybody's crying. You know, I mean, about his performance when he's been showing that for the last 3 years. Yeah.
See when you say he's Brandon Rios with a shoulder roll, like, what do you mean? Do you just mean in terms of skill level?
No. What I'm trying to say, like comparing the two fighters, I mean, he's flat-footed just like Brandon Rios. He doesn't move around the ring. And if anything, I would say, you know, Brandon Rios hardly ever jabs, but when he jabs, his jabs are actually more effective. He actually causes damage. I'm not talking about as far as how he looks. I'm not saying he has a prettier jab, because that jab up and then to the midsection that Broner was doing looked nice, but I didn't see it being as effective as when Brandon Rios punches, and he gets hit a lot too. He's just more flashy about it, and I don't see him being any better than Brandon Rios, and everybody calls Brandon Rios a bum.
Well, I know what you mean in terms of like getting hit and stuff. Brandon Rios could be better, but Brandon Rios entertains me a lot more than Adrian Broner does. Like I would pay to see a Brandon Rios fight. I wouldn't really pay to see Adrian Broner. If you're going to take away all of his outside the ring antics, which makes what he does in the ring interesting because you want to see him get knocked out, and to me he's worthless.
I agree.
That's what NBC did. They said tone it down. We don't want to see the flashy Adrian Broner, and this is what you get. You get like a toothless dog.
Hey, I was gonna ask you too. I was gonna ask your opinion on this. Well, I was watching, what's his name again? What's the guy with the scruffy beard? I forgot fucking his name right now.
Billy Briscoe.
Guerrero. What's his name again? Thurman. Did he not remind you? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think MV2, you said you would want to see him against Floyd. And yeah, I agree. I agree with you. One of the other hosts asked you why, and I was thinking, he kind of reminds me of Shane Mosley in a sense. The way he fights, he just kind of loads up on the punches. He's fast enough to land those punches. Where as far as how he pot shots, he's just fast enough to land those shots without getting hit himself. He just kind of reminds me of Shane Mosley, and the way that Shane Mosley hurt Floyd Mayweather. I think Thurman could do the same thing. You can ask your opinion on that.
Ari, do you think Thurman beats Mayweather?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he beats him, but I think he's not going to be any less competitive than any of the other guys.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man! I think he beats him. I think it's speed, it's combinations, foot movement. The punch. Obviously, he's got all the tools to beat him.
I don't think he'll have the opportunity to fight him. I think the Mayweather Pacquiao fight will definitely have a rematch, possibly even a third, and then retirement for either or both of them. I think I don't think Thurman will be like the next king.
Well, I just got one last thing, guys. I'm going to make it quick. I'm going to get out of here. But how happy would you guys be for a Canelo and Ward fight?
Canelo and Ward?
Yeah, how happy would you guys be over a Canelo and Ward fight? Would anybody really be pushing for that fight?
I think Daniel Lim would probably not even want that fight.
The reason
that just came from left field. What?
The reason I bring that up is because aren't Canelo and fucking Triple G about the same size? It doesn't seem like Triple G is such a big guy. I mean, I think Ward's a little too big for him. I just think everyone just so just kind of wants the guy to lose, really. You know, I mean, I just see it as the same fight. I mean, of course, he has more power than Canelo, but I mean, I just see him being about the same size. I think he could easily make 154, and I just don't know why everybody's pushing for that fight.
No, I see.
Sorry, go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see your point of view, but I'm trying to look at the figures here, but I do think Canelo is a bit smaller than Triple G, just off the top of my head. But maybe he's not, because BoxRec's saying he's 5'9", so yeah, you do make a good point.
You seen that that picture when they sparred together? When they're both flexing? They look about the same size. They were standing right next to each other.
The thing for me, Triple G's kind of caught in between no man's land, because he's got the weak 160 division, and maybe with your point, him being small for 168, he's kind of caught in this weird no man's land, because I think he probably beats most people at 168, only because 168 isn't a packed division either. It's got good boxers there, but it's got a lot of old guard as well that are kind of ready to move on. Like Abraham's been around for ages, Froch has been around for ages. You know, obviously De Gale's knocking on the door. Grove has not really proved his skills yet, really. But I think both divisions are ready to be changed. I think 160 is a lot weaker, but 168 needs a kind of refreshment soon. And I personally think Ward should just step up to 175. There's better fights for him out there. Like, why fight nobody's at 168?
No.
Yep.
All right, fellas. What's it called? One last comment, and I'm out of here. Ski masks jokes are whack. So is Antonio. You know. You gotta use another word, brother. I was fucking going to sleep. You know. So, okay. But anyway, I'm not hating on those brothers. Actually, you know, like he said, what's it called? You guys make the fucking show entertaining as fuck. I haven't been able to listen to you guys in about a couple of months or so, but I'm glad I'm in today.
All right, thank you, Javier.
All right, guys.
Next time we're not laying you in line next time because you haven't listened to us a couple of months. So now
hey, it's work. It's work. I'm on slave work over here, man.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, man.
Cheers, bro.
All right, we got no more callers at the moment, so let's go on to. Should we talk about Hole or should we quickly talk about my boy Paul Butler?
My back.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about Butler quickly.
Get Butler out of the way quick.
Yeah, I was disappointed, man. I'm a big fan of Butler, but he just got schooled by Tete and brutally stopped. He didn't really have an answer for. I was really impressed with Tete. His jab was impressive. The jab to the body was good. The right hand was good as well. His obviously having that long reach, his range was quite good. And every time Butler came close to kind of maybe doing anything on the inside, he quickly just held him. He did get warned by, I think was it Howard Foster, the ref? Might have been, I can't remember. He did get warned by him in the 6th or 7th round, but it wasn't excessive. It was only when Butler just kind of got close, and he was only doing that out of desperation, I think, towards the end of the fight. And the stoppage looked brutal. The way he fell, I think he kind of fell awkwardly on his ankle and his knee, and Frank Warren was right behind there. He stood up and he thought, "Oh shit, here's another one of my guys that's kind of has to start from scratch now and rebuild."
Yep.
I was really disappointed, man. I'm a fan of Butler, but hopefully he'll come back, you know. But props to Tete. Can't really say much. He came over here, defended his title. I think he won his title on the road as well in Japan. He's one of those road warriors, man. Old school guys who goes around the world fighting people, and that's probably more financial because he's making more money on the road. But you know, you still got to give him props, man. It's hard to go into the Lions Den and perform well, and he definitely did that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I wish I'd done more research. I didn't look at any of his fights before I made, for the prediction league. I put in Butler decision. Obviously, Butler's at home. I know we mostly stop him, but yeah, Tete was amazing. I was watching it while we were doing the chemo special. I reacted to the knockout, me and Nota. But
I'm thinking about soundbiting that and putting it in the intro.
You can if you want. It was off. Straight off. But yeah, man, that fake jab to the uppercut is beautiful. Like I said on chemo special, he landed it like 10 seconds beforehand. Butler took it. He ate it that time. He didn't see the second one coming at all. And what can you say? Butler got outclassed. But I think Tete might be moving up. I think apparently Tete might even be jumping 2 weight classes up to super bantamweight. I heard he's looking to move, so he's a very big super flyer. And I think the plan is Butler wants to try, pray Tete gets out of the way, and I think they'll go for the belt again after a couple of fights.
Yo, if Tete goes to super bantamweight, he's a problem in that division, man.
Yeah, man. Super bantamweight, it's a tough division. But yeah, Tete, he's looking like a beast, South Africa's got one over there, so shout out to them.
Chew, I think on the chemo special, you said just towards the end of the show that Tete hid the uppercut quite well. He used it sparingly up until that point, and then in that last round, he used it multiple times, and obviously, the last time he used it, he brutally knocked out Butler.
Yeah, this weekend was quite interesting. It was like a black hole in Asia. There's a black hole in the UK. Flyweights everywhere. It was interesting. I'm not going to lie, I don't know anything about either of these guys. I don't really fuck with the flyweights. Whoever told me that Paul Butler was going to win that fight, I fucking hate you.
I apologise, I almost thought he was one of them.
But this Tete guy looked like a beast. Yeah, I was watching it on the chemo special as well. The jab was excellent. Oh, he was beating him on the jab alone. He didn't even really need to risk throwing another punch. But the more the fight went on, the more Butler became frantic, started making mistakes that leaving your chin down and shit, started leaning in, desperate, lunging in, and they got caught. He got caught with an uppercut from hell, and the knockdown itself, it was like he'd been tasered. It was like he had a kind of electric shock just as he went on the floor. And what a stupid decision by Frank Warren. Every now and again, Frank Warren shits the bed. He done it with Nathan Cleverly when he fought Kovalev, and then he's done it again with this guy.
No. To be fair, go on. The Cleverly fight, Cleverly demanded that fight. He told Cleverly don't do it, and Cleverly was like, nah, I want to fight the best in the division. So that was on Cleverly, to be honest.
No, and Butler as well. Apparently it was Butler who wanted to go back down. It was this one Warren, this was Butler wanted to go back to his actual weight.
Can I just play devil's advocate to that? Is Scott Quigg not telling Frank Warren I want to fight fucking... Sorry, not Scott Quigg. Yeah, Scott Quigg's telling Eddie Hearn I want to fight Cal Frampton. Eddie Hearn's obviously saying, oh yeah, the fight's going to happen. But he's been saying that for 18 months because Eddie Hearn knows better.
No,
but never happened.
Hearn can't get them with Quiggins at the table, and Quiggen need to realise it's not a 50-50 split. There's different, we've said before, there's different things in the way for that fight to ever happen.
Same with Peter Quillen calling out Triple G, same with Leo Santa Cruz calling out fucking everyone, but not fighting them. The promoter, if he's good at his job, should protect his investment. It's bad for the fans. Obviously, we want to see the fight. But, I can remember the days when we used to shit on Frank Warren, saying that he never used to make the fights that the fans wanted to see, that he always protected his investment. Not all the time, there is exceptions. Ricky Hatton cost us you. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that's a bad fight for Paul Butler. Someone should have been watching that South African guy, Tete, and then saying, okay, do you really want to fight a 5'9" guy whose reach is fucking bigger than someone who's in the weight class above? That's just a bad fight. Bad styles matchup.
You know what, though?
Paul Butler's shit. Oh, sorry, he's not shit. He's a good fighter, but you know what I mean? He's not world level.
Nah, Paul Butler's good, man. I think he'll come back, but I think maybe going up to bantamweight and fighting Stuart Hall, maybe that put something in his mind about fighting Tete, thinking, well, I've fought a guy that's big. Obviously not the range. Stuart Hall and Tete have not got the same span, but obviously the bigger guys, and maybe that was in his mind, thinking, well, I beat Butler in a higher division, I beat Stuart Hall in a higher division, so I'll just go back down and beat this guy. Maybe they underestimated him, maybe they didn't. Maybe the gap between the original date of the fight because it was set earlier on, and Tete, I think, got a hand injury, and they reset the date. Maybe that was to play for it. It's difficult to say, but Ari, I know you're a fan of Butler.
Whoa.
You're not a fan of Butler?
I don't think I've ever said I'm a fan.
Okay,
I'm a Yafai fan.
All right. Let's just say all right.
Beats him.
All right. Well, you said it. What? Yafai beats Butler?
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't happening, man. Come on.
He used to beat him up in amateurs.
Yo, amateurs is different. But all right,
yeah,
let me
but
you watched that division, so let me just get your
Yafai's legit.
Let me just get your opinion though. But with Butler kind of getting schooled and then getting knocked out, can you see him coming back? Because it's not like the fight was close and he got stopped. In his face, you could tell he was visibly frustrated, like with his performance after the fight, the way like they were following him back to the changing room and all that. Do you think he'll come back stronger, or do you think this is kind of like the straw that's going to break him almost?
No, I think he'll come back. He fought a beast. I still can't believe how good Tete was. Nota didn't tell us, and Nota's supposed to be our lighter weight, genius or guru, whatever. Nota, what's going on? I think I'm always going to Nota for picks, and this guy's always giving me wrong picks, and this time he did give me the pick, and his boy Tete done it. I think he actually did put Tete down the win, but he didn't shout that one out.
He kept that to himself.
Yeah, he kept that one discreet. But yeah, on Butler, I think he'll come back, man. Like I said, they'll most certainly do a couple fights. Hope that Tete goes up and they'll go for that same belt again.
I was thinking, if Tete stays there, can you see Eddie Hearn avoiding the Carl Yafai, and not going for that belt, thinking, well, this guy's a beast?
That fight will never happen unless it's mandated. It's like a Cold War. That's a real Cold War, that one. War and Hearn, they're never going to fight each other unless it's mandated.
No. I meant, do you think maybe Hearn will... Because obviously Tete's shown that he's willing to travel. Do you think he'll try and bring him over for Carl Yafai?
Oh, no way.
We've been staring into this black hole for a good long time.
Yeah,
we ain't even got to the Sky Card yet.
Yeah, we're about to jump out into one UK black hole into another. So, let's go over to Hull. Quite a few fights. Most of them are pretty
That's
shit.
a sentence I thought you would never say. Let's do it. Let's go to Hull.
Most of them are pretty shit, to be honest. Shout out to Roos and his cousin Eric Ocheng. Kind of got a bad decision by Mr. Howard Foster, I thought.
Got robbed.
What?
He got robbed.
He did get robbed. Chu, did you manage to find that fight? Did you see it?
I did. I watched the fight. Obviously, Rose is our boy. Eric Ocheng. He done pretty good in the first 4 rounds, didn't he?
What do you think happened in the second half of the fight? Do you think he got complacent because he thought, well, I've won the early half and I've got 2 knockdowns in the fourth, I'm well ahead, and he just kind of took his foot off the gas? Or do you think he actually started to gas a bit? Because I thought he was visibly gassing a bit.
Yeah, I think he gassed. They said after he only done was it 2 rounds or 4 rounds since that prize fight, the prize fighter where he had to back out because he passed out or whatever. But yeah, he kind of gassed. But shout out to Ruse, and if I was Ruse, I would have glassed Howard Foster if I was that close to him. He got robbed. Obviously, I know Ruse couldn't do much. He's in the whole the way fighter, don't want to get jumped. But come on, man, Foster's a prick. And what's up with these refs judging? If it's not a 6 round or 4 round, I think you said the same thing, Cam. It's just I don't want to see a ref judging a fight. They need to do what they're doing. Leave that to judges. It's not hard to find 3 judges to judge a bloody fight, is it?
Yeah, I was talking to Kevin Noter about this on Friday night. For 4 rounds, 6 rounds, fair enough. Have the ref judging the fight, give the points out. But when you start getting to 8 rounds, just there's 3-4 officials there anyway on the night, maybe more. Sometimes I have 5-6 officials and they rotate for the undercard. So just have 3 of them judging the fight. Because Howard Foster fucking had a shocker, man. How you give that fight a draw, I don't know, man. But
well, it was a strange weekend in a lot of cases because, I was watching flyweight fights, I was watching British domestic fights, and I found myself agreeing with Jim Watt.
She was in a Twilight Zone.
It was something else. Jim Watt called it. He said it was a shocking decision. It was a shocking decision. He said that it takes a lot more energy to fight Eric's style than it is for Tom Knight's style, which is true. I thought Tom Knight kind of fought in a Eastern European, very upright, kind of no body movement kind of style, and Eric Ocheng was like the complete opposite. But then he blew his load as soon as after the fourth round kind of ended. And I don't know, man. I just Howard Foster should just retire. Like, he's got to be a villain of all. Who likes him? Who can look at him in the eye and backstage and say, good job. Good job, because he wants to be the centre of attention every time I see him, man. Whether it's the Carl Froch, George Groves fight when he's getting involved too soon and really leaving the fan with a bitter taste in the mouth, you know what I mean? Because you're not seeing the guy who should have won.
He still gets these big fights, though, because he got Frampton Avalos, didn't he? I don't know how they keep giving him these big fights.
I don't know if they're under contract or whatever, man, but that's the kind of answer. Ari's point, obviously it's cheaper to employ one guy to judge it than three.
Yeah.
But really, if you're gonna, the British Board of Boxing, they fine fighters for swearing on Twitter, so it's not as if they're short of cash. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna have a kind of draconian accent, a draconian kind of way with fighters, why can't you do it with officials as well? It's hypocritical.
It's true.
The guys are doing shit. Get them to fuck.
That's true. Shall we move on to Coyle? But let me give a quick props to Sam Egerton against Shane Singleton. That fight was pretty decent. Egerton was a few levels above Singleton, though. Dropped him a couple of times. I think the ref was right to jump in. But I'm a big fan of Egerton, man. I think I think after Hearn feeds, what's the Birmingham boring middleweight, welterweight called? Frankie Gavin. After Frankie Gavin gets fed to Kell Brook, I think Hearn will feed Gavin to Egerton to kind of give him a stepping stone. Because I enjoy what he destroyed my boy Denton Vassell in Manchester, and he was impressive on Saturday as well.
I wish you'd feed him to Egerton. I wish you could feed Gavin to Egerton right now, so we don't have to see that Gavin fight in the future.
You know that's going to happen, though.
Pay-per-view as well, apparently.
Fuck that.
Stream.
Team stream for that one.
Stream for that, definitely.
But let's move on to Tommy Coyle and Martin Gethin.
Yeah.
It was a weird fight again for like these Hearn fights. I know you made a joke to me afterwards, Ari, about Hearn maybe offering Gethin some cash somehow on the grapevine, but yeah, Gethin's slow starter as always. Nice knockdown, I think it was in the second. Coyle looked pretty fucked, man. Anytime Coyle gets hit big, his face just goes into fucking man mode and just fucking turns into jelly and shit, man. But props to him, he got up and he fought well the rest of the round, and you know, he started to come back in it, but Gethin quit, I think, at the end of the fifth round. And the way Tommy Coyle celebrated, I just didn't understand it. It was like when he
classless.
It's like when he knocked out Katsidis. It's like he's running around and like, I've got this excellent victory. It's like the guy quit on his stool because of his eardrum being burst from previous fights, and you're running around like you've knocked him out, and you got dropped badly in the second, man. Like, have a bit of class, man. And then at the end,
Cam, can I just, sorry to cut you off, man. I just want to play devil's advocate. Would you not celebrate as well if you're going to get the biggest payday you're ever going to have in the next fight?
Yeah, but not like that. You was going over the top, man. You was thinking you knocked him out.
Yeah, that was over the top, Chew. Come on.
It's boxing, bro. He took his soul.
Nah, he didn't take his soul.
He took his eardrum away. That was a tactic. That was a clear tactic. He was going for the ear.
I think Hearn pumped up the money, man. I don't know what happened. You know, it was weird. Coyle, like I said before, Matthews still has his soul. If not, he has his soul. He broke his chin because every time Coyle gets hit now, flush, he's down. And I like other people now have realised, I don't want to see this Campbell fight. Campbell's going to knock him out inside 4 rounds.
Did you see the interview afterwards where he's like, oh, he's my mate, but I'm going to knock him out? I'm like, oh, no. Hearns told him to start talking up the fight.
He was getting crickets, though. The whole crowd, they've even realised now, like, it's not even competitive.
But you could
like,
just
he
tell...
was getting crickets when he was trying to talk up the fight.
You could tell that it's the whole Eddie Hearn-Sky thing now. Let's build it up now. Let's start talking a bit of smack. Start getting, like, headlines in newspapers and website. And you can just see through it, man. Any decent boxing fan will know it's just all fake, man.
I tell you what, though, I don't know why, and I'm not basing this on anything. I think Luke Campbell is chinny.
I love how you base it on nothing.
Biggie siding glass.
Absolutely nothing. I just think he's got a kind of chinny-looking face.
Well, playing devil's advocate, Cam, is it any different than Frampton and Quigg? I mean, they're hyping that shit, and that's easy money. That's easy fight.
But they're... Oh, my God. Oh, shout out to Nota's on the line. But
Nicky Cole from the Jets.
That's 2 world champs, though. Well, 1.5.
1 3/4.
1.5.
And that's half competitive, I still think Frampton wins, but at least it's quite competitive, Quick's not a bum. But Coyle's got a broken chin, man. Campbell's going to land that straight left on him. It's going to be game over inside 4.
Mm.
Yeah, and for me, like, Nota's dropped off now, but for me, Frampton is not with Sky, so there's that natural rivalry and a bit of kind of tension there where when it's 2 in-house fighters that are obviously friends and trained at the same gym for years, I think, as amateurs and stuff, you can tell it's just all fake, and it just kind of screams of WWE, WWF to me, where just start talking a bit of smack. But I liked Coyle's response, though, because obviously... I liked Campbell's response. I think he was backstage and they went to him and they said, oh, Tommy said he thinks he's going to knock you out. And he's like, well, he went life and death with Brizuela and I stopped Brizuela within 5 or 6. And, and I liked his kind of... And I know they call him Cool Hand Luke, but I did like his kind of calm demeanour about him. So, but I agree with Harry. I think he stops him quite easy within 4, 5, 6 rounds, something like that. I think he probably toy with him for a bit, just kind of like not to kind of knock his boy out too soon. You probably just take it easy for the first 2, 3 rounds.
Yeah, I thought all the conspiracy theories surrounding the fight is quite a bit comical. These guys clearly think that JFK was shot from the grassy knoll, and Elvis is still alive somewhere. It is what it is. The guy Martin Gethin. I'm not gonna lie and say that I've seen loads of his fights, but if you've got a kind of 50-50 fight after 5 rounds, knock the guy down, hurt him badly. I thought, how did he get up from that? I still don't know. The way Tommy Coyle's head kind of snapped against the rope, it was kind of Michael Watson-esque. I don't say that in a kind of funny way. I was kind of wincing looking at it. I was like, whoa, that was a bad one. But there's no conspiracy behind it. I'll never criticise a guy's heart, but if you've got a burst eardrum, it's painful, man. But you can continue. You can continue. It's an excuse so you can look back in 10 years and say, oh, well, if my ear was okay, I could have beat this guy. The same way that Chris Arreola can say, oh, well, if I didn't eat the hot dogs, I could have beat Vitaly Klitschko that day. It's a built-in excuse. But excuses shouldn't turn into regrets. And to me, I was actually impressed with Martin Gethin. He was kind of economical with his movements, whereas I thought Tommy Coyle was the opposite. He was like a fucking ball of nervous energy, and I was just tired looking at him. I thought, fucking hell, he's gonna gas in the latter half of this fight if it continues to go that way. And I'm kind of sad that Gethin didn't give himself the chance to kind of see what happens, because no way fucking Tommy Coyle could have kept up that pace for the whole fight. I thought he would have gassed eventually. So, I'm just contradicting myself completely. Maybe he did take a dive, I don't know. But I thought Gethin was the better boxer of the two, and I don't watch the two fighters, but if you were to tell me, okay, one of these guys has got a lot of buzz around him, and one of them is a kind of British level journeyman, I would have said that Gethin was the guy with the buzz around him, and Coyle was the journeyman.
For me, Coyle just looks too nervous to get a hit. Like, he's so worried about taking a big punch.
Totally, man. He's he was sitting on the golden ticket, and he didn't want to fart on it. So I get it. Like, he was nervous as fuck. But does Luke Campbell beat him? I mean, that's a rhetorical question.
Easy. All right, let's move on. Zou Shiming, China. The UK shown quite a few of the fights, the undercard as well, but I just want to focus on Glen Tapia and Dawson and Zou Shiming and Road Ring. Nota's back on the line.
Hey, Yang, man.
What's up, Nota?
Chu's new favorite fighter.
Who?
Ik Yang.
Oh, the bald head dude that was doing all the little messing about in the ring.
No. The one yeah, exactly. Going bad intentions, man. Constantly.
Yeah, the Chinese guy who fights from South Korea. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, the bald-headed guy, the heavy-handed guy, got cut near the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that is him, Carl.
Yeah. He was enjoyable. He was enjoyable to watch, but I don't know the level of the guy he was fighting. Like, was the guy that he was fighting good or what?
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty good. I mean, they're trying to line him up for an IBF title shot because he's ranked really highly in those rankings. He's actually ranked in, I think, 3 of the 4 majors, but I think they're trying to get him that mandatory for the IBF because the IBF actually forces theirs. And of course, Peterson has that. So, I mean, that might be problematic considering they're pretty much, baby wiping his ass with baby wipes by, fucking giving him all these over-the-way fights that he's going to get knocked the fuck out in because he's too much of a bitch to fight for his title like a real man.
Fuck it up. But, Nyota, you've clearly seen this Yang guy before. That's the first time I've seen him, and I was impressed. Who does he beat at 140?
Well, I mean, you'd have to throw out a couple names. I think he could take Delorme. I definitely think that. Just to name one guy. But I mean, as far as like favoring him necessarily over the absolute elites, I couldn't necessarily do that. Simply because I mean he's been busting guys up, and he hasn't necessarily had a guy that's been able to give him a different look. That Mauricio Herrera look, for instance, where he might not be able to really make his power count and make that aggressiveness count.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people comparing him to Mayorga on Twitter.
I compare him a little bit to Sakio Bika, man, because, I mean, he's just coming and he's throwing bombs at you. And the thing is, he can cut off the ring. He's not a slow guy. He's not the fastest guy, but he's definitely not slow, and he can close the distance pretty quickly. And he's coming for that ass. Pause.
Yeah, totally, man. You could see whenever he landed the punch, even if it was blocked, it was kind of visibly moving the guy backwards. That's like an indication of a very strong fighter.
Definitely.
However, I thought he didn't look in shape to me. Maybe that's just genetics, I don't know, but I thought he could probably lose 5 more pounds and go down to lightweight.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. He's not exactly like, he's not really a robust light welter. He's strong, yeah, but he has a little bit of that Juan Diaz build to a certain degree. Not as bad as Diaz did, but yeah, I can see that a little bit.
That said, man, it's good to see boxers like that, man, just kind of goofing about and shit and having fun. You can see he actually fucking loves.
Well, you can see that he likes to fucking fight. He's not a businessman, as you said last week, Chu. He's not about business. He's about he's about fucking you up. That's his business.
That's her business. Nyota, you're right. I fucking love that shit. He is one of my new favourite fighters. He comes to fucking fight every time. Brilliant.
You've only seen it once, man. What the fuck?
I'm his fucking the biggest fan.
If you watch his last fight though, Chu, he drops his opponent. I think it was his last fight. It was either his last fight or 2 fights ago. He drops his opponent, then he stands over him like talking shit to him as his opponent's flat on his ass. after he knocked him down. Like, kind of like Kovalev did Ismail Salak. And that alone just shows you his mentality. He's got that Eric Morales type mentality. He's coming to fuck you up. He enjoys being a badass.
I swear to God, we're fucking losing loads of listeners talking about Iggy Yang. I don't give a fuck. I'm on the train.
No. It's called we're directing the flow of boxing fans to real fighters. That's what we're doing. We gotta give these guys the shine that they deserve.
I'm a Yang fan, and I'm gonna be a fan until he gets a big fight. And he could beat someone like a Peterson. Who knows? To be honest, I doubt.
That actually might not be a bad fight, to be honest with you. I mean, especially who knows how Peterson really is without the extra testosterone and everything.
Yeah, but I would presume
he ran through him like water through paper, man.
I would presume though HBO would have some type of options on Yang now, seeing as though they aired him on Saturday.
Most likely, yeah.
I won't mind you seeing Yang versus the winner of or the loser of Matisse Prohonikov. That'll be a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. See that?
Well, let's move on to Road Ring. Nota, you're an expert on this weight division.
Yes.
What do you think of the fight? Like, Zou just seemed like he was tentative to me, like he was worried about what was coming back.
He really fought a weird fight, man. I never expected him to go on in there and try and, pot shot with a pot shot. I thought that was ridiculous. I mean, he beat Broner twice in the amateurs out of 3 times, and it almost seemed like as if he had never seen him before when he got in there in the ring with him. And it was almost like he was trying to, just land 1 or 2 shots. I don't know, maybe that knockdown in the first round, maybe he thought like, shit, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out. I'm just going to wait for the perfect shot. Maybe that's what he was doing. But, I mean, really, where he held the advantage was in his speed and his combination punching, and he wasn't making that count. It'd be like Ricky Hatton trying to outbox a guy, basically. That's pretty much what he was trying to do, as opposed to putting the volume on him and making Broner catch up to him. He was playing catch up to Broner.
Yeah, I think the knockdown was in a second, but it wasn't really a heavy knockdown, and he was kind of lucky it was called a knockdown because Rodring kind of slipped on the canvas a bit and he got touched by a left hand and went down, but that whole canvas was slippy all night. They were slipping about like it was ice skating, like they were at the whole ice rink arena, but
I mean, Rodring was no joke though. Like, I mean, I saw some jackass on the internet say like, oh, they tried to feed Shiming a bum and the bum wound up beating them. Like that shows a total level of ignorance as to the level of a fighter that Rodring is. Like I said before, when he defeated Ioka to win that title that he has, that was a huge upset. And because a lot of people were expecting Ioka to be the biggest rival for Chocolatito, and who's of course a pound for pounder. So I mean, that just shows you the level of ability that this guy has. I mean, he totally upset the apple cart when he managed to beat Ioka. He beat Ioka in Japan. I mean, although, to be honest, I thought he should have lost his fight, the last fight that he had right before this one against McWilliams Arroyo in Thailand. But I mean, I think he got some of the benefit of the doubt because he was in Thailand. Because, I mean, he probably should have got at least like 2 points deducted for that fight for body slamming and elbowing and all kinds of other crap. But I mean, he managed to get through it. And I guess in that way, he did the Hopkins did what you have to do what you have to do to win type deal there, even though Arroyo was close to knocking him out one or two times. But I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. I'd like to see him rematch him though, because I mean that would still be a good fight because Arroyo was able to really bring out action in that fight, a lot more so than Shiming was.
You know what, man? I was watching this fight and I was actually communicating with Nyota at the same time I was watching the fight. And the first couple of rounds, I actually thought, you know what, man, this Zou Shiming, he's got a nice left hook, very short, very clean. So after the knockdown, nothing happened. Like that guy, Amiyat, I'm not going to say his second name. He actually, he just kind of landed a couple of clean punches every round. It was a fucking boring as fuck fight. And Zou Shiming, it's like he's playing Tig. It's like he's playing Red Rover. You know, he touches you and he runs away.
His balance is shit as well.
I can't.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with just the fact he was an amateur for so long. I mean, you got to think he was in 3 Olympic games. So, I mean, he was an amateur basically his entire adult life. So he's used to fighting that way, in that weird like tag you're it style, as opposed to really going after it and trying to knock a guy out. He's used to getting kind of getting the benefit of the points, and that's it.
But
I wonder what Freddie Roach thinks of him. Really deep down,
he probably thinks he's shit, but he gets some
good
money.
Know, the interesting thing about it is, I mean, Shiming was able to make same day weigh-ins. He was able to make 106 and 108 for the Olympics and everything. So, like, really, if he was still able to make 105 or 108, he might still be able to make that physicality work for him. Against Amnat, he was facing a guy that was not only more skilled than he was really, or I mean, at least he was showing more skill in there. But that was able to match him like strength and size wise, in the Olympics and everything. Shiming was pretty much bullying everybody he fought because he was the older guy. He had man strength and he had the speed, and nobody could really catch up to him. But in a 12-round professional fight, those other things count a lot more.
Yeah, China need to throw him in the bushes, man. They've got legit guys like Yang and Rex. I don't want to try to say his surname, Rex. So they're actually guys who can actually do something that can fly their flag for their country. Zou Shiming, he's nothing, man. He's just a name. I've never been impressed with him. At the same time,
Aram and Roach have kind of said that. I mean, they don't imagine him being a pro for a very long time. They figured his run was going to be a short run in the first place. So that's why they've been building Rex and Yang and a few of the other guys as fast as they can in order to get them into the stage so that they can fill up that Macau arena and get that big China money.
Yeah, they're definitely fast track Shiming, but
they fast track way too quick.
Yeah, his talent level's not really there, to be honest.
I tell you what, man. Sorry, there was a sport I used to watch on Channel 4. There's like an Indian game called Kabaddi. And I don't know if any of you guys can remember.
Yeah, I remember that shit used to be on Channel 4 on like a Sunday at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's an Indian sport called Kabaddi, and it's basically just a game of tig, where they send someone into the other half of the team to tig someone, and then they run back.
And the others kind of make a wall, kind of like together, and then they try and get the guy before he runs back.
And that is exactly how Zou Shiming fights. If he lands something, he takes about 10 steps back, and then that's him for the rest of the round. Fuck him.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Honestly, like even with that style, I think he could theoretically do something if he was able to make one of those lighter weights. But I mean, Runrang he's not like a pound for pounder the way Estrada and Gonzalez is, but he's a solid, level champion. And I mean, Shiming just looked like he didn't know what the fuck to do, which is kind of crazy because I mean, I thought really if he just would have let his hands go, he could have won more rounds and would have got the decision.
Yo, Chew, I pronounced this guy's name wrong on Chemo Special. I think Chemo corrected me. I think it was Jesus. He wrote in the chat, kabaddi, 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 kabaddi.
Because that's what you see when you touch him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then Leon Monaco sent me, he said, I love that you got a band in my school. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Can we shout out the judges as well?
Yeah.
I was expecting a robbery. I picked Zou Shiming by split, and I was talking to Nota during the fight, and I was me and Nota both thought I was going to get the split. Then they called it unanimous, rightfully so. He lost, but yeah, shout out to the judges. They did the right thing. You'd think they got a money man like that, unless he's getting knocked out, he's winning.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And there was another fight, a 4-rounder. It was on the Box Nation card. I think it was probably on the Top Rank TV. Yun Fei versus Paul Valenzuela. And I thought they might have give it to Yun Fei, but yeah, it was split decision and Paul Valenzuela got it. So definitely refreshing to see that you're not picking a fight because of where it is or because of the judges. Now hopefully this kind of trend will maybe come to the UK and come to the US, where you can pick a fight based on the fight itself and not, the guy's going to get robbed, so I'll pick the other guy, because that's not really a way to predict fights, where you predict him because of the judges, man. That's some bullshit, and it's something that needs to kind of leave the sport. It probably will never leave the sport fully, but hopefully other countries will take the lead like China have and start conducting that, because that was refreshing to see.
It was. I picked Shiming to win for that very reason. Because I thought the other guy would get robbed.
Exactly. But let's quickly just talk about Tapia. Bit easy work for him, really. I actually went for unanimous decision in the prediction league. I thought Dawson would be a bit better. He was better against Trout, but obviously stars make fights, and Tapia kind of took care of him quite easy.
Yeah, totally, man. Really nice jab. I watched the Kirkland fight, which is the only Tapia fight that I've seen previously, and I thought, oh, this guy is he thinks he's like Kirkland, but he's not. Like, he's just not built that way. Like, I know he's got power, but he's not got that kind of ruthless aggression that Kirkland's got. So probably going with Freddie Roach is the best thing you could possibly do. Just work on your fundamentals, work on the fact that you're 5'11", bigger than most of the guys you're facing. So that's good, man. I was very impressed. Nice balance, nice counter punching, very impressive.
Harry, you see it?
I only saw the stoppage, nice attack on the ropes, but yeah, that's all I saw. And I know he said style makes fights, but that doesn't look good on Trout. That guy knocked down Trout. I remember seeing that fight in that fight. So
did he knock him down twice as well? I can't remember. I think he knocked him down twice.
I can't. I only remember one, to be honest.
I'm gonna quickly.
Yeah, that's not good on Trout, man. But yeah, Tapia looked good, man. He's had, since that Kirkland knockout, I think he's had 4 KOs on the bounce since then. So yeah, he's looking like he's doing his thing. Maybe the Kirkland fight was just too early for him, but he's looking like he could do something. So that's good. That's good for him.
Yeah, quickly box wrecked it. Trout down twice in the 3rd round against Daniel Dawson. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a good look for Trout. Because, this Dawson guy, he's limited. So if he's putting you down twice, then I don't know. Were they heavy knockdowns? I can't remember that fight.
It was ESPN Friday Night
one
Fights.
of them was heavy.
Yeah, I think the first one was heavy. The second one wasn't too bad, but
I thought they were both pretty heavy when I saw him. To be honest with you, it was almost like he was just lining them up for, I believe it was a big right hand. It was like it was the right hand every single time. But I think that's just the weakness of Trout's. Really, is just a straight right. That's gonna catch him. If you're gonna fight Trout, you gotta just fucking throw that shit nonstop. He'll catch his ass with it.
Yep. Nikki, anything else you want to chat about that you've seen over the weekend?
Trying to think here. Off the top of my head, man. Rex looks pretty good. Yeah, he'll probably get a title shot soon.
What do you think about Keith Thurman, bro?
About Keith Thurman? I thought he did his job. I thought he did the damn thing. By the way, Eric Oching, man, he got robbed. He should have won that shit easy. I had him winning by like 3 points, man.
Yeah, we discussed that earlier. I think Ruiz should have glassed Mr. Howard Foster, like Ari said, but maybe another time.
Yeah. There's still time.
But let's move on to Prediction League quickly. Give some props to the top 10. Segura was on the show last week, along with Alan Hurst. Segura jumped on afterwards, talked a bit of smack to Alan about forever being on his undercard, which was quite funny at the time. But it's cut up to you, Segura, because you're no longer number 1. Alan Hurst, top of the tree, 598 points, position 1. Chappie Hover's gone above Segura as well. He's in 2nd, Segura in 3rd. Lukey, my boy Lukey's holding strong in 4th. James Bennett 5th, BRD Hayes 6th, Snash 84 7th, Nam 82 8th. My boy from Manchester, see him on a weekly basis, TBE Chef, he's in 9th, and Steve Box in 10th. This week we got quite a few fights lined up. We got Francisco Vargas versus Will Tomlinson on Thursday. And we got Andre Berto versus Josecito Lopez, Sean Porter versus Robert Garcia. I put them in as 10 rounders. I tried to inquire whether they were 10 or 12s because I didn't want to avoid the fights. But I've put them down as 10s because there's no belts on the line, so hopefully they think there'll be a 10 rounder. But I've seen 10 and 12 written on numerous websites. The Ring Magazine, ESPN, BoxRec, they all state different numbers, but I put 10 down. Thomas Uthaisen versus Rhino Lindbergh. Isaac Chilemba versus, I'm not pronouncing that name, Sergey Kovalev versus Jean Pascal, and Steve Cunningham versus Vasilev Glaskov. They're the fights we got in the Prediction League this week. Get your predictions in for one of them by Thursday night, because one of the fights is on Thursday, the other two are on Friday, and the rest on Saturday. Okay, Chew, shall we move on to next week? Well, the upcoming week. We got your boy Kovalev back, Chew. Is it me though, Chew? There's no hype behind this fight at all. No one's really talking about it. I'm not hyped about it. It's not really had that much press. Like, what's going on? Is it just like a given that Kova's going to destroy Pascal, so no one's really jumping on the bandwagon?
Kovalev. I heard what you said. I'm excited. I love Sergey. Sergey should be really pound for pound top 5 after his win after Bernard Hopkins, but for whatever reason, man, he's just not as hyped as Golovkin.
Well, Dawson didn't get top 5 after beating him.
That's Chad Dawson though. Chad Dawson's fragile. You know, Chad Dawson's vulnerable.
We didn't know that back then.
I tell you what though, after the thing with the Chad Dawson Bernard Hopkins is styles make fights. You know what I mean? Kovalev, there's a way of beating Bernard Hopkins. Kovalev actually kind of beat Bernard Hopkins, if you know what I mean. Whereas Chad Dawson beat Bernard Hopkins, if you know what I mean. There's a different way of beating him. Kovalev done it decisively. Maybe I'm just exaggerating because I'm a big fan of Kovalev, but I think Kovalev is the truth. I think the fact that Kovalev is making guys run from him, such as Stevenson, like they've not fought and they will never fight, but I think Kovalev has a win over Stevenson on his record. Just for making the guy
duck him.
Exactly. So he gets that win on his record. He is the lineal champ at that division. And you're right, Cam. He should have a lot more attention than what he's getting, but for whatever reason, he's not got it. It's just a coincidence that he's kind of sandwiched in between all these kind of Al Haymon fights. You know, it's tough shit, man.
Yeah. And I know he's not really got a home in the States. I know he lives there and stuff, but it's nice to see a guy who's a champ travelling around. I know there's more money for him to probably travel to Canada and stuff, but it's nice to see him go to Canada, beat someone up, go back to, I don't know, Broadwalk in Atlantic City, beat someone up there, and just move about and be, as they class, a world champion and travel. Well, he's not travelling the whole world, but Canada, a different country than the USA, so at least he's travelling about, not just staying in one place defending the title. It's nice to see. Obviously,
yeah, totally, man. He's a great world champ.
Yeah, he came over here to beat Cleverly, you know, so it's like he does travel. So, but
Harry, what are you thinking of him?
Yeah, Harry.
I think yeah, Cam, you're right, man. There is no hype for this fight. I forgot it was even happening this week, you know. But I don't know. We'll see. Again, we'll see how good Kovalev is. Like Pascal, can he knock out Pascal? You know, I don't think I've even seen Pascal really hurt. He's got a good chin, you know. I can't wait to see if he can knock him out, man. So yeah, but I don't think he will knock him out. I think I have faith.
Harry, you breaking up? Is that just Michu?
Pascal's
Can you hear him break
but
up
I think
as well?
Kovalev will win unanimous. But it'll be great to see if he can knock him out, man.
Okay.
Oh shit! Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me right now?
No, you're right now. You're just
Still
lagging
breaking
a bit.
up?
Yeah, no, you're fine now. You're not fine.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, it'll be good to see if he can knock out Pascal, because, you know, Pascal never been knocked out. I don't think I've ever really seen him proper hurt. You know, he's got a good chin. So I can't wait to see it.
I'm finding it
But
hard
I'm going unanimous.
I'm finding it hard to see how this fight plays out. Like, will Pascal do good in the early rounds and gas and then get knocked out, or will he be cautious and kind of save his stamina and try and do a B-hop and go 12 rounds? And I can't. It's hard for me to see how it's going to play out, this fight.
Yeah, Brandonian in the chat, Brandonian 3030 says, good chin, but has a bad gas tank. And I agree. Pascal has a bad gas tank.
Yeah, that's true.
He
takes a lot of breaks, and I remember. Sorry, true. I remember. Was it the Butte fight? To save energy, he was even in the last 10 seconds, last 20 seconds, he was making sure he was right next to his corner. So he down quick.
I remember that. He used to be chilling so he could sit down straight away, innit?
Yeah, man.
Strategic.
Yo, remember those double?
Doing that shit.
Remember those two-handed Superman punches he was throwing at fucking Butte and shit, man? That was fucking terrible. Guy was throwing Superman punches.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point by whoever said that in the chat about Pascal. You know, I might actually go with a late stoppage actually on that, because yeah, Pascal's he's got too much muscle. He's got no gas tank at all, so he might just exhaust himself and, you know, just give up or something. But
and
yeah,
really,
maybe Kovalev will knock him out with a body punch or something like that.
Yeah.
And really, Pascal's not really had like competition since like the Butte fight, because he fought, was it Belanti recently, and that ended quite quick with Belanti pulling some bad moves. So at least Kova's been active and he's putting rounds. Obviously, Pascal would be sparring, but sparring is not the same as getting rounds under the belt in a proper fight. So I think Pascal's going to be a bit rusty, you know. And it's not really a fight you want to be going into against Kovalev and you being a bit rusty.
Yeah, what I will say is, though, that he's got Roy Jones in his corner. And you all know Roy Jones from HBO. He's quite a technical guy.
Yeah,
but sarcasm, by the way. He's not. But what he is he's good for Pascal's style. He's going to augment that with his own kind of tricks that he could maybe teach him about that unorthodoxness, you know, that athletic style that he has. And it's good if he gets to kind of iron out the kinks as he adjusts to Roy fighting bums as opposed to, you know, the killers at 175. So everything is kind of geared towards this. And I think Kovalev's jab will be the key. I think Kovalev will just control everything, control distance. Pascal leaps in when he punches. And you know what Larry Merchant says, if he leaps, he sleeps.
Definitely, man.
And by the way, Kovalev's bodywork as well, man, is underrated. And I think you'll stop him late.
Do you think Koval will go back to the Koval we've seen of old, just like destroying Pascal, or do you think he'll do what he did against B-Hop and kind of box him?
Is it possible to outbox Kovalev?
Possibly. I don't think Pascal's got the skills to do it, though, to be honest.
Yeah, if Bernard Hopkins can't do it, then...
Yeah. And I know you're talking about Roy Jones and stuff, but I think Roy Jones is so naturally talented, like, you can't really pass on some of those skills to someone else. Like, that guy has to be either, like, naturally talented as well, or you're not really going to gel together. I know they seem like they get on well, but I don't really think Pascal's learned much. I think it's more of a mental thing. I think he's saying, you almost like, you know, Chew always make the joke about Paddy Fitzpatrick and George Groves and come on, George, you've trained for this. I think almost Roy Jones is there for that rather than any technical advice.
Well, you're probably right, Cam. You're probably right. I mean, Roy Jones he's never been what they used to say about him and Bernard Hopkins was that Bernard Hopkins had the style that could carry him on onto his 50s and keep winning. Whereas as soon as Roy Jones's athletic ability started to decline with his age, that's when he started getting hit, and that's when he started getting losses on his record. So that I don't really see what Roy Jones can kind of pass on to him other than motivation, like you say. Having Roy Jones in your corner. It would be kind of like having Muhammad Ali in your corner or Sugar Ray Leonard in your corner. You know, you're going to get some kind of reaction from it, but you're going to get, just out of respect, because you've got a fucking living legend talking to you, and you fucking used to watch all his fights, probably used to idolise him, but is it going to be the best technical advice that you could have? No, man, it's just an ego trip.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's definitely going to help you a bit, like you said, to have that person behind you and talking in your ear and giving you advice, but there's only so far it's going to take you until your own skills and your own fables kind of show a bit. So I think I might go with Ari.
That's kind of the way it is with every trainer, though, isn't it?
True, but I think when it's someone of like Roy Jones' stature, I think it might help you a bit more because you've seen what he's done in his career.
Yeah. No, and I see that. And the thing is, I think Pascal's style probably most resembles Roy, so I think that's the perfect guy to be training him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually, Naota. I definitely agree.
I mean, if anything, he would know how and when to use some of those techniques, dropping the hand or whatever, to lure an opponent in, for instance.
Yo, do you remember that old Simpsons episode where Bart got stuck down the well? That's what Naota sounds like he's calling from.
It's kind of like Zou Shiming in and out.
Exactly, man. Hot shotting. Come catch me.
Pot shotting with sentences.
Hey, but on Thursday, though, Francisco Vargas, man. You guys got to check that one out.
Yeah, I put that in the prediction league, Naota. It's a 10-rounder, isn't it? Because I was a bit confused. It might be a 12.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's because it's not for any title or anything. He's supposed to be Salido's mandatory coming up, though. He's actually the mandatory for him and like one or two other guys at 130.
I was impressed
with
the
class?
130 super feather.
Yeah, was it Vargas' last fight when he stopped Wanma? Was that his last fight?
I think so. Actually, yeah. You know what? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive to start Wanma like that. I know Wanma's a bit shaky anyway, but it was a nice.
I mean, he's had more impressive fights than that though. Like when he knocked out Brandon Bennett, Adrian Broner's homeboy. Mopped the floor with him.
Yep. All right, let me get back to the phone lines because I did promise Alan that I would get him on earlier and I forgot. Sorry, Alan. Are you there, Alan?
Yeah, I'm here, mate.
How's it going?
Better not duck me, son.
Better not duck me, son. Alan, Segura took some smack last week, and then it's come to bite him in the arse.
Yeah, he's dropped off my undercard even.
Is he on the untelevised undercard now?
Yeah, he's an Abnamaras of the fight world.
He's on the NBC Sports.
Coming into the ring as Robert Guerrero was doing his interview.
People should respect my pick for Tyson Fury to beat Klitschko now on top of the board.
No, we're still not respecting that. Sorry, Alan. But what do you want to talk about?
About this PBC, like having their own belts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I see the thing on YouTube, Box Talk, and one of the blokes interviewing Barry Hearn. He said that's what his plans was before the show. So I'm wondering if they have their new belt. Does that mean all their belt holders have to give up their belts? They're going to have their own thing.
Well, it depends, but it kind of makes sense now why Broner and Peterson's at a catchweight without the belts on the line. It's all kind of making sense. But I think what will happen, though, is eventually they'll just get stripped, and then HBO and Rock Nation and all the other promoters minus Haymon will fight for those belts.
It's all going to be in-house, because if, say, Kell Brook fights Thurman and beats PBC champion, I mean, you can't really do much of it, can you, if you're only going to fight on there to defend it? It's sort of going to keep it all in-house.
It seems so, but I don't think that model will work, to be honest, because there's so many other promoters out there and so many other competition. I know Haymon's got a big stable, but it's not big enough if you compare it to all the other fighters out there that are signed to other promoters.
I know, that's why I don't see how it's going to work, but it seems like that's what he's trying to do.
Yep.
I don't know how that's going to, I mean, like, and so there's going to be a lot of belts up for grab with Wilder, and, I mean, like, Mayweather, is he going to give up his belts for a PBC belt? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't see what he's going to do with it.
Yes, it's kind of like when the whole NBC thing was announced, we're all kind of like unsure of what's happening. No one's really explained to us what's going on. As we were talking about earlier, I think Ari was talking about Thurman. His belt wasn't really shown on TV, and when it kind of did get shown, like you could tell they were ushered away or asked to kind of put the belt down out of view of camera. So there's definitely some shit going on. I think it's hard for me to like give my full opinion because we don't know exactly what's going on, but if it is a kind of Haymon belt and it's going to be PBC belt, blah, 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 I think that's going to be bad for the sport because you're
even more belts going now.
It's even more, but then you're kind of marginalising HBO and Matchroom and Warren because they'll be fighting for the normal belts, the IBF, WBO, WBA, WBC, and Haymon's guys are going to be fighting for their bullshit belts, so it's just going to fuck the game up even more, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does make it weird. I can't see what's going to happen, but it's strange one to forward, isn't it? How the rankings are going to work and things like that. Will they even be in the rankings, or will they have their own special PBC rankings?
Exactly. There's so many questions, Alan.
Yeah, it is.
And who makes the rankings?
I'm surprised they've announced it. The first show, you'd think they'd explain it from the off, like, you know, what their plans was.
Maybe they didn't do that on purpose because there might be a backlash, so they're trying to kind of sneak it through the back door.
They're waiting for Mayweather to retire before he has to give up his belts and things, doesn't he?
You never know.
I tell you what, Alan, the first time I heard PBC, I thought they said PVC. And if you don't know what PVC is, that's the abbreviation for plastic. So it's kind of ironic that there would be like a kind of plastic belt. I don't really see what the purpose is of having a network only belt. What if you get thrown off the network?
Good point.
Is this going to be like a kind of brand where you take the belt from network to network? Like you're on NBC 1 minute and then you're on fucking Friday Night Fights the next.
But
I
also,
just don't get it, man.
Also, the Spike TV now, like, will these belts transfer over to the fights on Spike TV? Because Berto, Lopez, and Garcia versus what's his name? Garcia versus Sean Porter is on Spike TV. So, will they get transferred over to theirs? It's different.
Spike TV belt.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't know where we stand yet. It's like it's all waiting to be revealed.
Yeah, is it, Alan? Do you think it's sustainable the amount of money that they're giving to their fighters?
Well, he must know what he's doing. He must be in controllable. He's good with money. You can't argue that. He must know what he's doing. But they do seem to be getting paid far too much for these not even great fights. You know, they'd be on like not even $100,000 here. They'd be on like 50 grand. Some of these fighters that are getting paid $500,000 and millions. So, but he must know what he's doing with his money.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to come from somewhere, man.
But Alan, we were talking about the whole setup earlier. What did you think about the whole presentation of PBC and the whole card?
It was different. It was different, wasn't it? It was just nice to have a bit of different. But I felt like they could have had their own music list coming in. They got to have their own identity. You know, I thought there'd be a bit more fireworks and fire and all that. You know, bit of like pizzazz for the first show. You know, the opening show. I thought they could make a bit more effort with it.
Yeah.
But you know, I thought it was quite good with them walking out by themselves. But I felt it did feel like.
Alan, you still there?
I'm still here.
Sorry, cut off.
You hear me?
No, we can. Yeah.
I thought they could have like a Klitschko style entrance where they've got all their videos playing and have a bit of fireworks and fire going on, and better lighting. It's new in it. It was alright. It was something different, wasn't it?
I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping Adrian Broner was gonna fall down the stairs.
Yeah, it was good. He was. It seemed different, didn't it? Him by himself, just coming down, makes a change with all his entourage with him. But I don't know. It was just something new, something different. But I thought they could have made more of an effort for the first time being on TV. I thought Molina, I thought, it's his first, it's like having a debut all over again coming on a new network. I thought he'd make more effort than that, your first one kicking off the show. I thought it was going to be a right barnstormer, but it was a bit of a letdown, really.
Yeah, Molina was a joke, man. Really disappointing.
I thought the whole occasion kind of looked like fight night. EA Sports Fight Night. Just with a big screen in the background and stuff, and the kind of like the music as the guys were coming to the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. I thought they got to have their own identity, surely. I don't like the way they cut off Broner and his fight speech either. They're a bit too PC. It's not like he was swearing or anything. It wasn't that bad what he was saying. They had to cut him halfway through. But, that's their TV company's policy, I suppose. They've got to stick to it. The Broner fight wasn't very exciting. I liked the Thurman fight, but I think it seemed even better because of the Broner fight being so boring. But it was a good fight to watch.
Totally, man. After following that fight looked like...
Yeah.
Fucking Corrales Castillo.
Yeah. That's what I felt. I thought it made it look so much better because of the first fight.
You got anything else for us, Alan?
1.1 and them only getting 3. I'm still here.
You keep cutting off, mate. You got anything else for us?
Well, if you need to move on, you can move on, mate.
All right,
it's
cheers.
Nice. Call in again. Cheers, mate.
Yo, man, keep in number 1 spot. Don't let Segura back on.
The pressure's on now, though. I've got to try and keep it now.
Everyone's chasing you now. You're the target.
Yeah, I know. Target's on my back, mate. Anyway, I'll call in next week, Cam. Speak to you later.
Take care, Alan.
Cheers, Alan. Cheers, my man.
All right. Bye.
Good call there from Alan, the champ. The current number 1 in the Predictions League. But I think we got Brandon on the line. Are you there, Brandon?
Yo, Cam, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Brandon.
Hey, what's going on? My boy Killer Cam Chew. What's up with you boys, man?
Chilling, brother. How are you?
I'm all right, man. It's all good over here, man. I'm just going to try to be quick, man. I'm back in the house with the kiddies and whatnot, man. So, anyway, man, what do you guys think of the whole PBC thing over there? For you guys, did it just come through on Box Nation?
Yeah, it was a kind of last minute thing. The fight wasn't announced on any of the networks, and then a lot of people kind of tweeting Box Nation saying, "Oh, you guys need to get this fight. We're paying a subscription fee," and they did manage to get a fight. I think they got a deal for this fight, the fight on Spike TV and Garcia Peterson card. So I don't know if they'll get the rest of the stuff after that, but they definitely got those fights lined up. Overall, the coverage in the UK, they had their own commentators, which I didn't mind because I'm kind of used to them anyway. It would have been nice to hear Sugar Ray Leonard though, but I'll probably just maybe catch Simbros to see if I can listen to that commentary feed. But the card overall, I did mention at the beginning, I thought it was a bit weird. I think the more I'll see it, I'll get used to it. I didn't like having no ring walk music. I think that's kind of nice. It helps the atmosphere, boosts up the crowd when the music comes on and stuff. But the lighting as well, it was like that yellowy kind of effect. That wasn't too bad. The whole setup rig above the ring, that looked quite good. Steve Bunce of Buck Nation was saying that, the setup for that's going to cost easily like $250,000 or pounds or whatever he said. So it's definitely spent a lot of money on it. But I think they could have spent it in different ways. But for the first show, I thought it was quite well. But what did you think, Brandon?
Man, I liked it. It was the first time that I seen big time boxing like that on a network station, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of weird watching it, man. But I thought it went well, man. I heard people on The Voice and other places, taking shots at it here and there or whatever. But both of the commentators were fine. I mean, if we can deal with what's the dude from Showtime, Mauro Ranallo, you know what I mean? Marv Albert's just fine, and Marv actually has a better voice. And I think Sugar Ray Leonard really did a good job, man. Part of it is that he's Sugar Ray Leonard, so whatever the hell he says, you just kind of listen to. But it went well, man. The Broner fight was okay. Molina dropped the ball, man. I don't know. That dude's a bum, man. People are, blaming Broner about the fight, but Molina was terrible, I thought Broner showed a little bit, the jab was nice and stiff, man. So, he's moving along. He's just not that special guy that we once thought he could be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yep.
And then as far as the Thurman fight, man, Thurman did his thing, man. Thurman, he showed his power. He took some risk in there. I thought Guerrero really disappointed me because Guerrero didn't start fighting the fight he was supposed to fight until he got knocked down. And then all of a sudden he wanted to try to, get on the inside and work him a little bit. But Thurman showed a lot, man, keeping composed with that freaking knot on his head. That was pretty impressive. So I got to give Keith some serious props to that performance, man. But all in all, it was good. I didn't like the way that Abner looked. Abner looked so. Switching channels here in America is what we had to do to watch the Abner fight. And it was kind of weird because it came on after the main events versus before them. So it was I was wondering the whole night what they were going to do with the Abner fight, if maybe it was there to fill the time slot if somebody got knocked out, which is basically, I think, kind of what it was. Because if you looked on it on your cable network guide in America, it was supposed to be a PBC post-fight show on the NBC Sports Network. So, it was just kind of like a time filler, but since they didn't need it, they just put it on the other channel. So, it was what it was, man, but it was pretty good, man. And then as far as the HBO card, man, I'm so glad Shiming lost, man. I hope I never have to see that dude on television again. Shiming's fucking terrible, man. I mean, to me, it's like this. It's just as bad as like Julian Love and the rest of the TMT cast, man. It's like they just shouldn't be on TV. I mean, Shiming's terrible, and he's a damn flyweight. I don't know, man, but Tapia looked okay. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a decent stoppage. I heard some people on some other shows. There might have been this one talking about Dawson looked like he just gave up. I think he just started getting hit and he just kind of gave in. I guess you could say he kind of gave up, but he was done. You know what I mean? He didn't have anything left to give, man. And, so it was a pretty good weekend overall.
Yeah, it was kind of strange with the Dawson fight. I thought it was a bullshit stoppage, but he didn't seem concerned about it. He was happy with the stoppage. Strange one. I thought he could have kept going, but he seemed happy for it to be stopped. What can you do?
He didn't come back with nothing. He just stopped throwing punches. It was kind of weird. You know what I mean? Because he didn't look quite like out on his feet. You know what I mean? He wasn't like stumbling all about or anything like that. He just kind of stopped throwing punches and covered up and then started taking some. And the ref tried to give him the chance to come back, but he never did anything. So,
well, it was weird though because he had his hands up, but they weren't high enough, so he was still getting punched at the top of the head. So it's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, like you gotta do something. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, he's got to do something, but then he just didn't do nothing. So hey, man, the ref had to call it. It is what it is, man. Yeah. But I want to get into what you guys were talking about a little earlier about the Pascal fight, man. With Kovalev, and you're right. I don't feel the excitement for it either. I mean, no one really seems to be kind of jumping ahead of it, but I think it's kind of like, how on The Voice or even on here, people call up and they'll say, they'll talk about fights that are coming up later. Like we might talk a little bit about Garcia Peterson or Mayweather Pacquiao or whatever. No one seems to call in and ask anything about this fight,
Why do you think that is? Do you think people just think it's a given that Kovo is going to win easy, or?
That's part of it, but I really don't think Pascal looked good in his last fight, even though he beat Butler.
No. You fought.
Am I the only person that? Oh yeah, he fought that other dude. I mean, come on, that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah, but his last real fight. I mean, am I the only person that thinks that? No. What did you guys think about his performance against Butler?
I thought it was poor, to be honest. I thought he was gassed. He was throwing Superman punches. Like, Butey's terrible, but Pascal wasn't far behind, to be honest.
That's how I feel too. I feel the same way, man. Like, he just didn't look good. I mean, he didn't look physically good. You know what I mean? Even though, I'll give you, anyway, yeah. Even though he won, he just didn't do it. But hey, man, I'm gonna have to cut this one short, man. They're calling me.
No problem, brother. Thanks for phoning up.
All right, man. Peace.
Take care, Brandon.
Another knockdown. Just my boy Monaco in the chat says for the PVC event looks a bit like the 90s TV show Gladiators.
Gladiators, are you ready? That guy was Scottish as well, Chew. You got to do that accent. Go on, Chew. That guy was Scottish. That referee as well.
Contender, ready. fighters, ready! Yeah, I mean, it looked a bit cheesy. Let's be honest, the whole thing looked a bit cheesy. A bit corny, as the Americans say. But, I don't know, man. It's good to have a different graphics.
Yeah.
Every now and again, I'm kind of bored of looking at the Showtime and the HBO, especially the HBO, man. When was the last time they actually kind of...
changed the graphics?
Yeah, just upgraded something, changed it a bit. Like, the only thing they've changed is, like in the intro, you see a truck driving now. You don't know where it's going, but it's gone somewhere. But that's the only thing they've fucking changed. They've still got a fucking... At least this is like something fresh.
No, I agree. I'm interested to see how the Spike TV is going to be, because Ari might know more than me. Ari, are they using the same people, or is it going to be a whole different setup with commentators and analysis for the Spike TV card?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, you guys got any... Should we go to final thoughts? Seeing as we've got 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. So, yeah, let's get some final thoughts. Ari, you sounding tired. You got any final thoughts for us?
Thurman done his thing. Thurman haters, shout out to him. I'm riding that train. I'm driving it. So, yeah, but on another thing, everyone knows who I'm a main fan of. The Reveiw purse bids is apparently tomorrow. Hearn gave us lies for like weeks now, talking about he nearly got the deal done with Haymon and Guerrero. Apparently it's not happening. It's going to purse bids tomorrow, so let's see if Hearn puts his hand in his pocket and gets Guerrero that home field advantage. So we'll know tomorrow.
Do you think he will?
I'm not sure, man, because it's up to Haymon. If Haymon really wants to put money in his, if Haymon really wants to do it, he can definitely get it. But would he make the money back? But at the same time, it's the same guy that gave Molina 500,000 payday, so you never know, man. But I think the purse bid, I don't think could go more than like 1.3. So it's up to Hearn, man. But he needs to. The girl needs that home for the advantage, because I think some of you are more confident than I am. I really rate the Reveiw, so it's a tough fight.
I don't really think Haymon should invest in Guerrero that much financially. I think the better brother is Anthony. So I'd put more money in him rather than... Andre's kind of got this title shot quite easy, really. Like, after his layoff, he's beat a couple of nobodies on Friday night fights, and,
Yeah.
And that's
he
it.
He was lucky to get this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To become number 2.
And now that he's in that position,
that Edwards guy who knocked out Badu Jack, he took his ranking.
Yeah.
And then, that was it.
And I think because of that reason, I think Guerrero shouldn't be too afraid to travel, because he's kind of got in the title shot position quite easy. So, just travel to the UK. Yeah. If you're good enough, you'll beat Guerrero.
Yeah, but he still has nightmares about that the Froch decision, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I understand that, but like I said, he's kind of lucky to get a title shot, so fuck it, you know what I mean? Plus, the pound is stronger than the dollar anyway, so you'll get more money over here.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts. Chew, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, man, I've got two things. See, did anybody see the Levgen Krytov fight?
To be honest, that's one I missed.
Yeah, I saw that, bro. That's Kev's boy. Well, not Kev's friend, but he knows him. Melendez, I think his name was, he was fighting. Knocked him out in the 8th round. The guy's got power in both hands. Like a lot of guys in the boxing scene, they're saying he could beat pretty much every middleweight not called Golovkin right now. Don't know about that, but he's fighting again.
10th of April.
Yeah, the 10th of April. That was fucking quick, innit? Just looking at this fucking boxing scene article. Yeah, I'm excited for this guy. Give him a year. He'll be beating everyone. Apart from Golovkin. But, and also, apparently Chudinov has got a rematch clause for the Eubank fight. I didn't know about this. and they plan to execute it.
They're trying to get him executed.
Yo,
I said they do it in Russia.
Chew, when I read this shit, I was like, all those jokes I made last week about his corner wanting Chudinov to die. Now they fucking really want him to die, man, doing a rematch. I just don't understand it, because the fight wasn't that competitive. Don't get me wrong, it was like fun to watch, but it wasn't a competitive fight. I think I'd give Chudinov 1 round. Maybe 2, I can't remember, to be honest. I think I'd give him 1. I think I'd give him the second round and that's it.
Yeah. I'd give him the first and the second. He's not on the same level as Eubank. He was competitive with in every round, but kind of the same way that Guerrero was competitive with Thurman in every round, even though he didn't really win any. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I did read that Chudinov's team did say that they don't want an immediate rematch, so maybe that's a good thing and they can kind of rebuild a bit, but I think after that, Eubank will be better anyway, so I think the rematch will be easier for Eubank because he'll see the mistakes he made in the first fight and then rectify them.
Well, if it's in Russia, then who knows? Who knows what could happen, you know? Chris Eubank Jr., I can't recall him ever kind of fighting abroad, so...
Yeah, I think he's fought in Denmark once early in his career, I remember that, I think... If I remember correctly, but yeah.
Just dump then. Who wants the WBA belt anyway? You know, it's a piece of shit. It's the worst of the 4, easily. And it's the interim.
Yep.
So you don't need that in your career. Move on to bigger and better things. Fight Billy Joe Saunders for the IBF or whatever belt he wins from Andy Lee if he gets that. Yeah, just fuck the belts. It's not important. The belts aren't important in boxing anymore. And sorry, man, just one more thing. I just want to say this because I just seen this on boxing scene as well. Rigondeaux, Team Rigondeaux, saying that he's going to force Scott Quigg to fight him or vacate the belt. Like I don't really understand Rigondeaux. I know a lot of, like I listen to a lot of other podcasts and everybody seems to love Rigondeaux. Like that guy who promotes him, Irish guy,
Gary Hyde.
Why can't you do? Gary Hyde, is that his name? Why can't you do what Tom Loeffler done with Golovkin? Alright, okay, everybody's ducking you. Fine. Why don't you just fight every 3 months? Does that mean you would have to get up off your arse and promote the guy? Yes. So why don't you do that? Get the buzz surrounding him that way. Fucking get Rigondeaux to knock these guys out in spectacular fashion.
And
you can't just... Sorry, on you go, Cam.
I cut you off, going, bro.
No, you can't just expect people to come to you if you're not bringing any kind of fan base to the table.
And for me,
you've got to earn it the hard way, unfortunately.
For me, with Rigondeaux's supposed age as well, like you'd think that they'd be on a kind of fast track, thinking, "Oh, let's get some fights now because he's getting on a bit, and you know he's going to slow down a bit." But they just take it easy, man. And Monaco in the chat saying that Gary Hyde's his manager, not promoter.
Yeah, a deal for real in the chat is saying, good point, you. Yeah, I know. This is the only way to develop avoided fighters. That's it. The blueprint. Thank Tom Loeffler, by the way. Tom Loeffler has laid the blueprint on how to get avoided fighters buzz.
Yep.
No, it's not rocket science, man. Just fucking fight every few months. Knock guys out. You know, the boxing fan is so starved of fights that you'll win a place in their hearts and you'll get a fan base. You know, a fucking Kazakhstani fighter has got a cult following. Try to tell me that a Cuban fighter who speaks Spanish can't get a fucking following? Of course he can. He just needs to fucking fight often. That's all it is.
Good point, Chief. Good point.
Bye. Great show.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed it today. I enjoyed it. No black ski mask Joe just randomly shouting things in the background.
He'll be back.
But let me give the chat room a roll call. We got Casual Fan, James Bennett, BRD, Hey Harvey 29, Super Merc, Arigo Boss, Michael McDonough, Die Hard Casual Fan, Jack Captain, MV2, Tommy D107, Kid Galabum, Basilius, Tony Bellew, Nunez 83, Nick G, Hamada UK, Brandonian 3030, Dave the Sinister, Mongo Sled, Steve Love, Monaco 78, Black Ski Mask Joe, what up Joey, Adil for Real, Foot I Love Me, NK Halfley. I can't read some of these names, man. I don't know what they mean. What do these names mean? And 13 guests. Guys, thank you for listening. People that listen to the podcast and download, continue to do so. We appreciate it. Just a reminder, for the next 2 weeks, for the guys that listen live, we'll be on at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific until the UK puts the clocks forward at the end of March. So 2 weeks, and then we'll be back to normal. Thank you all. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition. You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically burn you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great.
Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass. Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.